Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Collins, and I am the host of the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, a show right here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. On the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, we take a deep look at individual issues and stories that are going on in the wrestling world. Each episode is about a different topic, and we take a thorough and educated look at things ranging from current booking trends to breakdowns on individual performers and angles to investigations into different fan cultures across the industry. In addition, we keep a close eye on the wrestling media, and as a professional journalist, I bring a unique perspective to how current issues in wrestling are being covered and discussed through the wrestling media. We have a revolving series of guests from across wrestling punditry joining us on each episode, and we hope that you make the choice to give us a listen on wherever you get your podcast from.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Thank you so much for supporting WWE and NXT and me. You're so sweet.
You are listening to the Flagship Podcast with your hosts, Joe Lanza.
Trouble, that's me. Cherry lips and bad energy. Say it once, say it twice, and I give it to you all night.
Rich Craig.
Every single time she comes out, it goes, I was there to help you. I was trying to help you.
Because again, you have to be a simpleton to enjoy this stuff.
Statistically dumb and statistically poor. We should point that out. And we are live on the Flagship Podcast. I am Rich, and he is Joe. Joe, the second flagship of the week. How does that happen? How is there two flagships in 1 week? Please explain this to me.
We're doing the commercial now.
I'm doing right out of the gates. Yes, second flagship of the week. How does that occur?
Well, yes, we did a flagship Tuesday, which
what?
Yeah. So it was Tuesday, right?
Yes.
So if you're listening to this on Friday, you missed a flagship on Tuesday, but you're probably thinking, but Joe, I don't see a flagship on my podcast feed on my podcatcher of choice from Tuesday. What are you talking about? Well, that's because it's exclusively available on the $10 tier of flagshippatreon.com. Isn't that right, Rich?
That is correct, Joe. You nailed it right there. This is a WWE backstage segment that we just did right there with addressing our names every single time.
This is totally organic. Yes. What are you talking about?
Yes, Joe, you are correct. That is indeed how you can get the bonus flagship this week. That was on Tuesday at flagshippatreon.com, exclusively on the $10 tier. That will not be on your free podcast feeds, on your podcast app of choice. But yeah, that was a fun show. We did it on Tuesday and covered a wide range of topics, mostly WWE cuts. So if you jump in on this show and you're like, oh, they're going to talk about the, JC Mateo and the New Day. And no. We did that on Tuesday. So on the Tuesday flagship, we talked about the recent WWE cuts. We talked about the New Day departing WWE, WWE asking talents to take pay cuts. So we kind of recklessly speculated on who we thought that could possibly be that would accept, and then gave, I think, some pretty good reasoning for certain people that would maybe accept a pay cut. So I think that was a fun, nuanced discussion that we had
90 minutes of WWE talk and breaking down the latest cuts. New Day, JC Mateo, Tangaloa, and was there one more, or it was just those?
It was just those, I think, so
three.
Far. Yeah, and then wondered if Tamatonga was next, and he just didn't answer his phone, or then figured it out, or whatever. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But as far, I guess,
90-minute conversation on all that, and why TKO's doing it, and all of that. So that discussion happened there. If people are looking for that,
absolutely. We talked a little bit about Noah as well. We talked about Noah's Spring Mayhem and Ryogoku. So if you want that show, the recent Noah Sumo Hall show with Naito, Nozawa, and Shane Haste versus Mr. Smack Daddy.
Your new world champion.
Yes, your new GHC
right. World champion is Shane Haste. They're
going to play that video, because I think they still have one for the GHC. They're going to play the video, and it's going to be, Kenta Kobashi and, Misawa, and then
he's in it forever.
Slapjack. It's like,
right after Eddie Edwards. So you just squeeze him right in.
Right, Eddie Edwards, slapjack, yeah.
Eddie Edwards didn't seem so ridiculous in real time. He seems ridiculous now since he's just been like a pants-wearing brawler in TNA the last 10 years. At the time that he won it, it was surprising. I'm not going to say it was like, but now it seems more absurd than it really was. But Shane Haste, absolutely from left field. But we break down that Noah Sumo Hall show as well on the Tuesday flagship. We did a couple other topics too, but if you want to hear that, it's I never get the link right.
Flagshippatreon.com. You can also go to patreon.com/voices of wrestling, but the easiest way is flagshippatreon.com is the easiest way to do that. Or just Google it. Yeah, Google Flagship and Patreon, and you'll find it. You'll find it that way. So, well, I don't know. The AI thing might give you something wrong. So maybe double check just in case that it is sending you in the right spot. But
Rich versus AI is like the grudge match of the century.
It gets shit wrong all the time, man. I don't know. I'll look it up right now. It gets a lot wrong. I just want to make sure that you go to the right place, that it's very confident about the answers it gives you, but they're not always right. So you gotta.
And then when you correct it, it says, "Oh, that's right. You are correct." Well, why didn't you get it right the first time?
It's because it's designed to make you happy and please you. Like Seth Rollins, sexting. It's just like, yes, you are correct. I was wrong. It's like, all right, we'll be right then. Well, no. Thank you for pointing that out. I really appreciate it. Shut up.
But then it gets the right information. So what stopped it from getting the right information the first time?
The quandary that we will never be able to figure out. Yeah. But anyway, flagshippatreon.com, $10 tier for the Tuesday flagship. Bunch of other stuff on the Patreon. Might as well while we're doing it. Invading Honor, Takeshi Morishima's world title run. My new audio documentary all about Takeshi Morishima's 2007 run with the Ring of Honor world title is up right now. 2 hours and 49 minutes breaking down every single title defense that Morishima had in America, talking about the history of Takeshi Morishima, how he came to be wrestling, a little bit of history of Pro Wrestling Noah, unfortunately how Morishima's career ended. We had to unfortunately end with that note, but it's a lot of fun, and it's got some really, really good reviews. So I'm glad that people have enjoyed it. It was really fun to put together, so I'm glad people enjoyed it. You have the Thursday Dynamite review, as always, covering AEW Dynamite each and every week on flagshippatreon.com. So that is up there as well, in addition to a bunch of other stuff that we've done over the years now, as we are quickly approaching... We're at 8 years, I think, now for the Patreon. So, yeah, we're quickly approaching the 10-year mark on that Patreon. So there's ungodly amounts of audio for you guys and written content and just a bunch of other stuff. You had you reviewed some matches, right? Didn't you write about some matches recently?
Yeah, I did a batch of match reviews. Yeah. I think I did four matches. Nick Bockwinkel versus Tito Santana. Not the more famous one from Houston, but I think one from, where was it? Maybe Winnipeg? I think it may have been Winnipeg as a matter of fact.
Yeah, looking it up. Winnipeg, yep.
Because Bockwinkel and Santana have a I don't know if legendary is the right word, but maybe underground classic.
Underground classic was the exact word I was going to use. Is that like a lot of people, the people that know ball know about that match. So underground classic is a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is not that one. This is a match they had in Winnipeg. I also did Bam Bam Bigelow, Jerry Lawler, Texas Death from Memphis, which was the blow-off of their feud when that was Bigelow's first run in a major territory. He came into Memphis.
Oh, he's a baby. Yeah, you see him in that photo, and it's like, look at that little baby face. This little tiny Bam Bam Bigelow.
No flames on the gear, managed by Larry Sharp, and that was the blow-off of that feud. The Texas Death match, and actually they do a turn. Sharp turns on Bigelow. Bigelow goes babyface, and then when he comes back to Memphis a few months later, he teams with Lawler as a babyface. But that's the blow-off match to the Lawler-Bigelow program. And then I did a All Japan tag. It was Davey Boy Smith and Bigelow versus Miracle Violence Connection, which I thought was an interesting match to look at because it was Bigelow worked like half of an All Japan tour. He worked like 4 dates on the back end of an All Japan tour. It was the only time he worked for Baba ever. So I snuck that one in there. And then what's the fourth match?
Otto Vons and Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, Otto Vons and Sergeant Slaughter from Austria. Every time I try Otto Wands, it of course sucks because he's terrible.
He's not good at all.
It's just, what degree is it going to be terrible? And I thought maybe with this one, because that's 1983. That's peak Slaughter. That's like right in between the Slaughter and Kernodle versus Steamboat and Youngblood feud. It's like right after that, but right before the legendary series of matches with Iron Sheik. And I thought, all right, if you're going to have a Slaughter match, this is the time to have it.
And this is when he was a bumping maniac. For people that have never seen that era of Sergeant Slaughter, I mean, you punch that guy and he would just, ass over tea kettle, fly all over the place, take massive bumps, make you look like $1 million. And you think, hey, Otto Wands, this is a big, giant man. I'm sure he's going to, this will be a fun little match here. I didn't watch it, but I'm guessing it was not that fun.
I saw him on some people's GW Greatest Wrestler Ever lists, and I'm like, what are you watching? I've never seen this guy. But then again, a lot of those lists, and I can't talk because I didn't submit one, so I probably shouldn't run my mouth, right? Because I was too much of a coward to do one. I started to do one, and then I realized, you know what? This is why I never do one. It's too fucking hard.
It's very daunting. Yeah, what I did is, so I ended up submitting a list. What I did is I basically came up with a list of like 200 wrestlers that I kind of figured, and that was so daunting. And I got to that point, and I was like, this is fucking terrible. I'm done. I'm not going to do this. Like, I was like, all right, this guy's number 8. This guy's number 27. I'm like, what am I doing? This is ridiculous. So then,
did you ever submit a list or no?
I did. So what I ended up doing was I saw a bunch of people talking about this thing called a preference revealer, where you basically throw all these names into it's just this random bot thing on online, some GitHub thing. So you submit the list, and it asks you like I don't even know how many it asks. It's just hundreds and hundreds of questions of like, basically this guy versus this guy, who is better? This guy versus this guy, who do you think is better? This guy versus this guy, who do you think is better? So eventually, after you answer the 200 or so questions, it gives you a ranking. Okay, well then this is your top 100 or whatever. So I was like, okay, well so I did that like 3 times, then averaged out where they were, and most people stayed relatively similar. There's a couple people that had wild jumps from one list to the other, but I thought that was a good method to do, and my number 1 stayed the same all 3, so that was pretty cool to see. But yeah, that's what I did. I don't know if I'm going to reveal the list anywhere because it's just so annoying.
You don't want the heat.
I don't want the heat because here's the thing.
Rich doesn't want the smoke.
I don't want the smoke. Maybe I'll give my top 10 at some point. But the problem is, and I'll take the smoke on the top 10. That's fine if you want to give me that.
Right.
My problem is people are gonna be like, really, that guy number 78? And I'm like, I don't know. I just whatever, man. Like I just threw come on. I don't really care.
Not a lot of thought.
No, it's not that. Like the thing gave me my 68, and I just went, yeah, that's fine. That's the same amount of work would have went into it if I was like, I don't know, 64. I don't know. I don't know after the top 10, you're kind of just top 25. You're really just kind of throwing it out there.
Let's be honest too. For the vast majority of the people putting the list together, anywhere from the bottom 5% to 25% are mostly vanity picks anyway. You're squeezing people in there who are like some of your favorite wrestlers who you can kind of justify getting in the top 100. But maybe if you really were doing it diligently and seriously, you would have other people on there instead of them. Did you find yourself doing that for like the last 10 or 20 people? A couple,
yeah. There were a couple guys where I was like, that dude should be in there. Like I feel like my list for clout too, because people would be like, really, Rich? I thought you liked that guy. And I'm like, I guess he's got to be. I put him in there. Fine, it's all right. Like, a couple dudes that I was like, they were out of the top 100, and I was like, objectively, this guy probably is better, but I should probably put this one in because I appreciate this one better, and it feels more like my list if that person's on it.
If you have those people on, right. Like, when I had my short list, I got it down to about 130, right? And I started listing guys, and there were absolutely a few people who I was going to put in my top 100, even though I felt like some of the cuts were probably better wrestlers than them. But my thought process was, it's more of a Joe Lanza list if it has Coco Ware and Action Mike Jackson on
right.
Because those are guys I really like, And even though whoever would have been cut for them, and I don't know necessarily who it would have been because I never got that far, if you put a gun to my head, I would probably say, yes, so-and-so, is a better wrestler than Mike Jackson. But you want that flavor of your own. You want your stamp on it. You know what I mean? So I understand what you're saying. But I was a total and complete coward. See, you just don't want the smoke. I was a total and complete coward and just hand waved it. And I said, you know what? I cannot do this because I'm obsessing over who to put number 7 and who to put number 8. And I know that like my brain just does not operate this way. And I'm going to obsess over every single ranking. And I can't do this. It's stupid. I hate it. You know, and it's not a matter of me thinking my list is going to stink. Of course my list is going to stink. Everybody's list stinks. Have you seen some of these lists?
They're all bad. They're all really
atrocious.
horrible. Yeah,
these lists are awful.
Mine like, is the least awful of all of them that I've seen because I made it, but it still sucks. But it still sucks.
Okay. Alan Cunahan's list was pretty good. Connor from our Discord. I know there's 19 Connors, but you know the Connor I'm talking about because I don't think the other Connors did a list. His list was pretty good. I liked Case Lowe's list. But it's like, they're in our circle. Of course we're going to think their lists are pretty good. If I saw your list, I'd think your list is pretty good. But I'm still like grumbling under my breath. Like I'm looking at Case's list. He has Volkan on there. And I'm like, come on, Case, Volkan. Like you're still going to think, no matter who does it, you're going to think their list stinks in some regard, right? Like, I see Volkan and Fujiwara like high on people's lists, and I'm like, these people are fucking and they don't have Will Ospreay on their list at all, and I'm like, these people are smoking crack. But here's the thing: if I did a list, I would be the one being mocked and laughed at. Correct. In other group chats. They'd say,
"There's no Volkan on here, and he's got like, Will Ospreay number 5. What an idiot!" He's got
number 5. Jeez, what am I down on him? I was going to put him number 1, but I was thinking about putting him number 1.
Yeah,
like,
he's in my top 5. I'll go that far.
My whole thing, and I'm not 100% because I didn't do it, but it's like I was seriously thinking about putting Will number 1 because it's like, why don't I just cut to the chase because he's going to be number 1 at some point. I mean, the guy's great. But that's my point. Like my list definitely would have made the rounds in other group chats, and they would have been mocking me the same. Like that's not my point. Is everybody's list sucks?
Yes.
Okay. I saw somebody post a mock list. They had AI do it a top 100, and they tweeted it to mock it. Like, oh, look at AI's list. And then I looked at that person's actual list.
I feel like the AI one was so much better.
And the AI list that they were mocking was like 1,000 times better than this person's list. And I don't want to say who it was. I don't want to start a thing because that I can guarantee you that person would hate my list.
Yes,
with a passion.
Oh yeah, like I'm looking at my top 3, and my top 3 will be mocked relentlessly by certain circles for sure.
Yeah, and it's like that, and this person for sure. Me and this person couldn't disagree more. We probably would have 80 different names. I would only have like
80 unique
20
names.
of the same names.
Right.
Like we would like okay, Terry Funk would overlap, but it's like who the fuck wouldn't have Terry Funk on their? You know what I mean? Like so what? And it's like, it's funny because the AI list, I'm like, hey, that AI list isn't that bad. Like this guy's list fucking stinks. Like it's awful. So yeah, it's like it's one of those things where. I didn't have fear of people mocking my list because everyone's list is bad. But my thing was my brain. I'm just not. This is the last time I'm trying it because this is like the second time I tried to do it. And it's the second time that my brain just went haywire and was like overloading and I can't do it. It's just not for me. I cannot. I can't live with myself if I'm haggling over, oh, is this guy 12 or is this guy 13? And it sounds stupid to some people, but I can't live with myself if I think I'm getting that wrong. And I was just, you know what? Fuck this. I'm not doing it.
Or like you'll forever regret that. Like that list, then you post it on the Patreon. And people are like, yeah, Joe put him at 16. And you're like, I know.
Yeah. Or like if I forget somebody, like,
yeah. That's,
I was staying up some nights like, oh God, like, there's got to be someone I'm forgetting. Like
I did. Like, so when I went through, like there was like 10 people who I'm like, oh, okay, these 10 people have my similar thoughts on wrestling. I went one by one with their names just to make sure. I was like, do I have Kenta Kobashi on my list? Yeah. Okay, yes, I do. Like I knew I did, but just in case, because if I submitted the list, people were like, really, Rich? The Kenta Kobashi is the top 100. I'm like, no, I do. Oh God, I would have him like 4th. I'm so sorry. I went through it took a long time of searching through names that I knew were on my list, and I was staring at the name, and I said, just in case, let me make sure. Okay, I do have Bryan Danielson on my list. Okay, good. So
yeah. And then it's like I looked at my list of 130, and there wasn't a lot of lucha guys. And then I'm thinking, am I doing a disservice here? And then I'm trying to force some in that I don't not really truly believe in. And then I'm thinking, I really like lucha. I do. I like lucha, but I just don't like it as much as other styles. And it's like, you got to be true to yourself. Like, if you only have 5 lucha guys, it is what it is, right? But I can't live with that. It bothers me. So it's like, fuck this. I'm throwing the whole thing in the trash can. It's just not, it's not meant for me. And you won't be seeing me in 2036 either, if I'm still here and breathing. I won't be doing it.
No, you'll be here and breathing. Come on. 10 years.
I've been having these doctor's appointments, it's not been a good day, Rich Grage. It's not been a good day. I'm not going to get into it. And no, okay, I should nip this in the bud. I'm fine. I promise everybody I'm fine. But, sometimes it's the little things that are more annoying than the big things when it comes to that stuff.
For sure.
But yeah. So that was, I guess some
impromptu greatest wrestler ever.
Talk.
Yeah.
And that'll be revealed over time. I think by the time the next list is due, we'll know where everybody plays for this list. Jeez, can we slow roll that anymore? I mean, for fuck's sake,
I know. Like,
put the goddamn list
on
out.
August 9th, we'll give you the top 250 to 200. I'm like, oh my God, I thought our match of the year was like excruciating because we wait until Friday to reveal the top 10. I'm like, oh my God.
We should know as well as anyone that you got to milk this shit for maximum hitting.
Sure,
right?
but there's a limit to it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, but just tell me Volkan is like 18th so I can complain about it and let's get it over with. I mean, let's just get it over with, But yeah, patreon.com though, those 4 match reviews. Well, that's about Slaughter, right? So, I figured maybe he can get something out of Wands. But see, Slaughter was smart. I shouldn't give away my review, but Slaughter was smart. He knew, like, I don't have to bump all over the place for this fucking guy because Wands is so over. All I have to do is walk and brawl with him and everybody's going to eat it up anyway. So, another disappointing, Otto Wands match, but they all are. So
join the club. They all.
So what I'm doing is I have this endless YouTube queue of matches because you're probably a lot like me. It's you're fucking off on YouTube, killing time. You're getting suggested matches in your algorithm. You're like, I'll put that on the watch later. 7 years later, you still haven't watched it.
Right, it's staring at
so
you. Like,
it's still sitting
I
there.
should watch the Parade of Champions from 1984. I know.
Exactly.
I look at that thumbnail all the time, and I'm like, one of these days I will sit down and watch the 1984 Parade of Champions. Today's not the day, but someday, I promise, yeah.
So I've got literally hundreds of matches on this stupid list that I forgot I even hit watch later on. So, of course, and again, you will totally relate to this. I'm like, well, I've got to make it content. Yes, right?
Yeah,
I can't just watch wrestling.
Can't just
pleasure.
Watch something and enjoy it.
This?
No, fuck that.
I try my best to corner off some wrestling just for pleasure, but it's like my brain is just like, no, gotta content it. I have something to say about this. So I'm just that's how I'm gonna work my way through this list of matches that I don't even remember I hit watch later on. I'm just going to review them in small batches because I'm so out on like modern indie wrestling. And
it's over.
Wrestling,
5 months in, it's over. Yeah,
I tried. I'll still try, but that's where I used to do my reviews. I used to flat out tell people, send me recs, but if they're older than like this year, I'm not interested. Like I would always review modern stuff in my written reviews behind the paywall, but I need a break because nothing's clicking with me. So I'm going to do, we haven't done a lot of reviews of older, and people like that. So I'm going to work through that list and do reviews of these old tapes instead until, until I get motivated to dive back into some. WrestleMania weekend really broke me. It really did. I need a break. I'm not saying I'm not going to dive back in and try again, but WrestleMania weekend really soured me on what's going on in wrestling right now. It's all your fault, obviously, for sending me on that path of destruction.
Of course. Yeah, as always. I apologize again, but I got to do something. I mean, so I'm going to review the older tapes for now, and I'm just going to go straight through. I'm not going to skip anything. I'm committed to it. Even if because sometimes you'll look at your queue and like, I don't feel like watching that right now. No, none of that shit. Whatever's next is getting watched and reviewed. And I'm just going to do them in 4 and 5 match chunks until I pare that list down. So yeah, that's something else. If you guys like classic match reviews, old tapes and shit, well, you're going to be getting more of that. And there was a batch that went up this week. So that's a $10 tier as well. So flagship patreon.com for all that. All right, let's get to topics that we're going to talk about tonight. on this flagship. We are going to talk about New Japan's Wrestling Dontaku. We're going to review nights 1 and 2 of Wrestling Dontaku. We're going to catch up on the latest in All Japan's Champion Carnival. We had the last show of block play that just happened a couple days ago, so we'll review that, preview what's going to be happening in the semifinals of the Champion Carnival. We're going to, of course, preview Backlash coming up this Saturday, Joe. I know you're excited about Backlash. Well, do not worry. We are going to preview it. Yeah, Backlash. John Cena has an announcement that's going to shake WWE to its core or something. I forget exactly. I'll figure out the exact words that he used when we go for the preview. But let's start off this week, though. We're 29 minutes into the show. Start off this week, though, talking about Ted Turner and his impact on pro wrestling. Ted Turner died this week at the age of 87. Thank you so much for that. Wrote a bit about it.
I'm mute.
Nope, you were not. I wrote a bit about that while I'm eulogizing the man. While I'm talking about the dead guy. Come on. Fuck. Of all times, the dead guy. Rest in peace, Ted Turner died this week at the age of 87. I wrote a bit about Ted Turner behind our paywall. Well, actually, it was free. You can subscribe for free at flagshippatreon.com as well and read that. But wanted to do some extended thoughts here on Ted Turner's impact on pro wrestling. So, yeah, I was able to write this. When I found out that he died, I was able to kind of sit down and write it in about 20, 25 minutes because, Ted Turner is someone that I have thought a lot about. We've done Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame shows about Ted Turner many times now. I'm somebody who advocated for him to get on the ballot. I looked at my emails dating back to 2014, the first time I got a ballot. I told Dave, Ted Turner has to be on this ballot. I think we should vote on Ted Turner. Took a couple years to do it, and he's been pretty high. I do wonder if he'll get the death bump this year and maybe get in there. But we've had lengthy discussions about Ted Turner in his Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame case. But I thought this was a good time to have a discussion about Ted Turner where we don't necessarily have to frame it with does he belong in a Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. We could just kind of celebrate his life because I think there's a lot there, both wrestling, both in wrestling and out of wrestling. He's a one of one though, Ted Turner, man. He is a wild guy who left a very just a legacy that is will be felt for generations to come for what he did. But any thoughts that you had initially when you saw the news that Ted Turner had passed away, and then we'll kind of figure out how to tail this into an obit section.
Look, Ted Turner, along with Vince McMahon, is one of the two most influential people when it comes to modern pro wrestling that aren't wrestlers, right? And it's like the thing about Ted Turner is he accomplished that while really barely thinking about pro wrestling at all. Like he clearly respected it and loved having it on his networks and saw the value in it, and he almost inadvertently. Not almost. He not on purpose. That's the best way to say it. He not on purpose prevented the WWE monopoly like 2 or 3 times before it eventually happened. Thankfully, because when you think about all of the times that Ted Turner stepped in and prevented that monopoly from occurring, look at all the great wrestling we got because of that, right? When Vince sold the time slot, when it just did not work out, and he lied to Ted, and I'm talking about Black Saturday, of course, and when part of the deal was he wanted Vince to tape in Atlanta, and Vince didn't do that, never intended to do that. The audience rejected Vince McMahon's wrestling. And Vince sold the time slot to Jim Crockett. So what did that result in? It resulted in that great 3 or 4 year run of Jim Crockett Promotions. That's some of the best wrestling you'll ever see, right? And then when Eric Bischoff comes to Ted Turner and proposes, Monday Nitro and all of that, and Ted greenlights it, what did that lead to? One of the most memorable eras of wrestling to a lot of modern fans, and just the fact that he always had wrestling on his airwaves and always believed in it. And whether it was, putting on multiple different territories at once on his air and not, allowing himself to be worked by these promoters or caring about the politics that were involved in pro wrestling, and always believing in wrestling, even when it was losing him money because of he felt indebted to it because he felt it helped build his television empire. So, again, it was like probably not one of the top 100 things he was concerned with in his life. And he did so many other
he had
things.
a whole, there's been books about him, and there's a whole documentary out on him on Max, and wrestling's not mentioned once. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and the big story going around this week is that even in his own autobiography, he never once says the name Vince McMahon. Meanwhile, Vince McMahon was obsessed with him and treated him like he was his number one arch rival. And Vince McMahon wasn't even a thought to this dude. So that's why I say it was like inadvertent. It was almost accidental or not on purpose, but he was such an instrumental figure in wrestling and he didn't even mean to be.
Right. Ted Turner was never pounding his fist on the table and saying, we can't let Vince have a monopoly on pro wrestling. The guy just loved pro wrestling, and he wanted pro wrestling and felt loyal to pro wrestling on his networks, because his networks were built on pro wrestling. Was one of the highest rated things. Georgia Championship Wrestling in the early 70s, like, was one of the main things that he had on his network. I know that people that don't know, you talked about the two different, having warring promotions and different promotions on his network. At one point, there were two warring Atlanta promotions, and he had them both on his network at the same time. There was a 2-hour time slot, and 1 hour was Ann Gunkel's, Atlanta promotion, and the other hour was this offshoot, NWA Atlanta promotion. And he just gave it both. He said, "Oh yeah, whatever. 2 hour time slot. You guys both have, an hour." It's just like, that's crazy to think about. And then, when Black Saturday happens and Vince McMahon purchases Georgia Championship Wrestling's time slot, and he says, "Yeah, I'll tape stuff in Atlanta. Yeah, no problem." Like, and then he's just sending them Philly tapes, and he's just sending them, trash wrestling from Philly that none of these people that grew up with Georgia Championship Wrestling, they didn't want Vince McMahon's WWF wrestling from the Philadelphia Spectrum or whatever. That wasn't going to work. So Ted said, "All right, well, here we go. Ole, start a new company. I'll give you a time slot." So he gives Ole Anderson, Championship Wrestling from Georgia. He gives Ole Anderson.
Just switch the letters around. Yeah.
Ole, I know you got fucked over by Barnett and Briscoes, so hey, how about you make me a new promotion? So he does. And then he calls Bill Watts and he says, "Hey,
new LLCs are very easy to start."
Yes. Yes, Championship Wrestling from Georgia, but and then tells Bill Watts, "You know what? Yeah, I want your wrestling on my network too." So then he gives Bill Watts the time slot. So he, Vince McMahon has that 6:05 Saturday time slot. Ted's not happy with the ratings. And again, this wasn't because he was like, "Oh, because goddamn Vince McMahon, I can't let him take over wrestling." Like, he just said, "Your ratings suck and your show sucks." Yeah. And you
didn't live up to your deal that you made with him.
Unbelievable. Vince McMahon didn't live up to a deal he made. But so Ted, again, inadvertent maybe, but he was just like, this guy's not living up to his deal and his show stinks and it's not getting good ratings. So, all right, we're gonna have Ole run his company, and then Bill Watts is going to run Mid-South on my network. And then Mid-South started just destroying WWF in the ratings, just absolutely destroying them in the ratings. And things were just going horrible for Vince on TBS. And then, of course, like you said, he sells it to Jim Crockett Promotions. And that helps, us get financially. Was it successful for Jim Crockett Promotions? It wasn't, but we got a really fun period of time that was just a great, an all-time great promotional run there from like 1985 to 88 or whatever, if you want to. Yeah.
Or so, yeah. You mentioned Ann Gunkel, hubba.
Oh, that's right. She was a looker, right?
Wooga.
Well, did you know that Ted and her were friends in high school or college?
Sure. I'm sure.
There's always it's like they've always said there's never been confirmation, but come on, Ted was such a horn dog. There's no way. Yeah. Right? There's no way.
Ted was an original horn dog.
Right. OG horn dog.
He boned them all.
He got kicked out of college because he was so horny. They're like, he went to Brown University, and this is like in the late 50s, early 60s, and you're not allowed to have women in the dorms because, oh my God, women in the dorms.
Co-ed.
And Ted's like, fuck, I'm getting some goddamn. I'm not fuck that.
Yeah, that's right.
I got Ann. I don't know if it was Ann at that time, but he got someone.
A little chapping
in the Brown University dorm rooms, and they said, "Ted, you can't do that." They went, "Fuck it. All right, cool. I'm out. I don't need this shit."
I'd invite Ann Gunkel into my dorm room.
Let's see.
Take a look
that's
at her,
right.
Man.
Yeah, she is a good looker.
Hubba.
Yeah.
She's top tier Ann Gunkel. Right up my alley.
Yeah, that's gonna work for me too. Yeah, that's all right. Good for her.
It's like TLB's sister or something over here. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, she's like a classically hot. Any era, that woman is pretty attractive.
Any era, Ann Gunkel is attractive, and you could tell she's classy too.
Yeah,
she wears like that classy lingerie. You know what I mean by that. That classy lingerie, Ann Gunkel. Man, are we besmirching the dead around here today?
Well, no, Coco's she's been dead for a while.
Yeah, right. Too soon? She's been dead for decades.
Right, exactly.
You know, I could talk about her classy lingerie. I'm putting her over.
Yeah, you're putting her over as a classy, attractive woman. We're not, yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't know that Ted and her shacked up, but we can assume that but it was Ted, and he was a very, very horny man. So,
yes, very, very active libido.
Active libido. That's one way to put it. Yeah. But Ted. I mean, that's one of the things that always endeared me about him. Not the active libido, but the desire to. I guess that's one. I mean, it's. I'll say this. Here's a guy who cheated on Jane Fonda and then remained friends with her for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy must either just be like, he's probably just a. There's something about Ted Turner like that. How do you get away with that? But Ted could get away with it.
Not the best looking guy either. He just must have spit really good game. I mean, the money helps, of course, but these are other rich people too. It's not like he's, so I don't know. He must have just been real slick with the words. I mean, he was getting it in college before he had any money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, good for him. And him and Jane Fonda, after they broke up and, quote, remained friends. They were doing the old nostalgia banging at some point.
For sure.
They had to.
Yeah, for sure. They met up for some, to sign some paperwork or whatever. And Ted's like, oh, come on. One time for old time's sake. Come on.
Yeah.
Ted just signed the paperwork. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And then Jane couldn't say no. She couldn't resist the Ted Turner magic.
That workout gear, and it's all over. He can't help himself.
Right.
He's got that 80s workout gear with the big thick socks and the leotard
socks and the thong over the leotard. Yeah, you can't. What are you gonna? Yeah, you can't resist that. But one of the great Ted Turner horn dog stories is, so he started the Goodwill Games as like a competitor to the Olympics or whatever. So they're doing the opening ceremony for the Goodwill Games, and nobody could find Ted. He's not around. They're like, well, he said he was going to be here for the opening ceremony of the Goodwill Games because he started them. Apparently, he just went to go bang Jane Fonda instead. So he just was like, they'll be fine without me. They don't need me.
Yeah.
Which that incredible energy for Ted Turner. But it's the wrestling aspect of him. I think that's an important thing because I think there's going to be a lot of people you're going to listen to and a lot of people that don't know anything about Ted Turner that are going to frame it as Vince McMahon versus Ted Turner. Ted Turner who battled Vince McMahon in a wrestling war. But like we said, he didn't give a fuck about Vince McMahon. It wasn't one of his top 800 enemies. I mean, that man probably had as many enemies as you could possibly have in the world, but Vince McMahon was definitely not one of them at all that he even cared about. He just stayed fiercely loyal to pro wrestling because pro wrestling was, in his fledgling, cable network, that wrestling was one of the big things that he got. He got, Atlanta Braves baseball, Atlanta Hawks basketball, Atlanta Flames hockey, and pro wrestling. And pro wrestling was, always one of the highest rated things that he had for years and years and years and years. And he just always stayed loyal to it. He liked to have, he knew his market and he knew that it was just something that was going to always be successful for his network. So yeah, anytime that he had an opportunity to put wrestling on his network, he did. And anytime it was ever considered, hey, Ted, get rid of this wrestling thing. No, we don't need wrestling on our network anymore. You own all these movies. Just play movies instead. He always said, if the answer is no, and don't ask me about it ever again. And the only time it was ever able to happen is after he basically lost complete control of his company in the AOL Time Warner merger. Yeah. And that is the only time it happened. And even afterwards, he was trying to figure out a way to kind of get it back. And it just, at that point, it was gone because, wrestling had changed so much by that point. But he was just fiercely, fiercely loyal to pro wrestling. And I think that made him so important that, did WCW ultimately go out of business? Sure. Did Jim Crockett Promotions ultimately go out of business? Sure. But
he bailed it out. He bought it from Crockett. Like, it could stop right there. You see what I'm saying? There's so many points in history where wrestling, national television wrestling on his networks could have just stopped dead in its tracks, but he kept it alive. And what that did is it kept an alternative to the WWF alive. And you think you just remove Jim Crockett Promotions from history if he can't get that time slot. Remove Nitro from history if Turner says, nah, that's not a good idea. We're not going to put that on. Remove Georgia Championship Wrestling from history if, Turner's having a bad day or the wind blew the other way and he decided he didn't want wrestling on his net. We would lose just decades of great wrestling history. He kept it alive all of those years and gave us some and slowed down the eventual 20-year monopoly or near monopoly that WWE eventually captured once WCW was completely out of the picture. And for that, I think if you're a wrestling fan, a real wrestling fan, not some dopey WWE fan who doesn't care, not someone who's more concerned with yeeting when they go to, no, a real dyed-in-the-wool. If you're listening to this show, okay, you need to be thankful for Ted Turner and his and again his accidentally keeping the flame of an alternative national wrestling product alive for decades, even though he probably didn't think about pro wrestling for more than 10 seconds a day for most of the year. When it came down to fucking brass tacks and it was time to make a decision, he kept that shit alive on his networks. And now, we're all the better for it many years later. And thankfully, we've got another billionaire now who's doing something similar with Tony Khan, who helped break that 2-decade-long monopoly and is presenting another legitimate national television major league product to ensure that we're not just stuck with one company.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the lineage of Turner is felt in AEW, obviously, given it being on TBS and on TNT or whatever, on his old networks, like that is still. So that's why I thought Dynamite starting off with Shivani and Sting there was really cool, because that, again, connecting that lineage between what Ted Turner did and that lineage going back to, the early 70s with Georgia Championship Wrestling, all the way through to AEW today. I mean, that's something that I've always just really admired about Ted Turner, is that, he stayed so loyal to wrestling when he, all logic would have told you, any normal businessman would have said, no, this is ridiculous. Like, would have said, no, I'm not bailing out Jim Crockett Promotions in 1988. No, I'm not, by 1993 when WCW was in dire straits, like, fuck this. Like, I got a bunch of old movies, I'll just play that instead. Or, why do I got the Atlanta Braves are the top team in baseball. No, I'm not going to be doing I don't care about wrestling anymore. 1993 WCW does not need me. And making sure that he was, upfront about, spending money on WCW to compete, sign Hulk Hogan, do these sort of things to compete. Yes. Yeah. No. Whatever we got to do to make sure that we can compete and be a player in the, in the marketplace. And then, of course, the news that a lot, even the most normie wrestling fan knows this is, Eric Bischoff, sitting in a room with Ted Turner, and Ted Turner saying, well, how can we better compete? And Bischoff saying, well, maybe you can give me, 2 hours on Monday night. And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever, or an hour. I guess start off as an hour on primetime on Monday night, and then expanded to 2 hours, and expanded to 3 hours. And Ted said, yeah, sounds good. All right, yeah, give him Monday nights. I'm sure much to the chagrin of every other executive in that room that's like, oh my God, we're giving an hour to professional wrestling on TNT on Monday nights. What the fuck are we doing? Why? And obviously, you get the Monday Night Wars, and for some people that's maybe a negative thing, because so many people are stuck with that mentality still to this day. But it transformed the wrestling business again. So there's just so many things that, again, by accident, he really contributed to, and so many things outside of wrestling too that I've always admired about Ted Turner. So it's hearing the news about him, he's somebody who, for those that don't know, had been suffering from severe dementia for years and years and years and years. So he was pretty much out of the limelight. I don't recall ever seeing him over the last 10 years. I think he's basically just been sequestered away or whatever for about it's been very long since the last time he's been seen publicly. So seemed to be a very, very severe case of Alzheimer's. So it sucks, or dementia, I should say. But yeah, 87 though, still a pretty cool legacy. And I wrote about it in my piece as well. Just outside of wrestling, I've always admired him for basically saving the American bison. Like, he single-handedly, if you've ever seen Ted's Montana Grill, and there's been a big, the restaurant that's got the big bison logo on it, and it's Ted's Montana Grill. Well, that's him. That's Ted Turner. That's which in charge of that, or who it's named after as well, because he basically wanted to save the American bison. So he bought a shit ton of land all over the country. I think he's like I don't know if he's the first, like the largest landowner in America, but he's one of the largest landowners in America. And all that land that he owns is pretty much just farms for bison, because he just wanted to make sure that the American bison didn't go extinct, and it was pretty fucking close to going extinct. So I think right now he's got 50,000, 60,000 bison that are under his name or whatever, and the population's obviously increased and done a lot better. It's not anywhere near what it was in the 1800s, but they're not extinct. I'll tell you that, and a lot of that is because of Ted Turner, and a lot of that land that he owned too was another big reason why he bought land and then basically wouldn't let anybody commercialize it as well. So he'd buy big swaths of land in Montana and all these different ranches all over the country, in Nebraska, all these places, just to make sure that they stayed as farmland and stayed as, just open land, because he believed in the importance of having open land. And I'm glad that he did that, especially with what's going on in today's world right now. Open land is good. You should have open land and not always build the data center on it. So no, I always admire him from those aspects as well. And then, man, the baseball, we know him from the baseball and the basketball as well. The basketball, a little less so. He wasn't as involved with the Hawks during their peak. I mean, he was visible when the Hawks were good. But the Braves, man, here's a guy who, when he owned the Braves, he owned the Braves. He was like Mark Cuban before Mark Cuban was Mark Cuban. When Mark Cuban used to be on the front row of all these Mavericks games and yelling at the referees and getting himself fined and all this. That was Ted Turner, man, for baseball in the 80s. It got so ridiculous that he fired the manager, and then he said, fuck it, I'll manage myself. And that didn't go very well. He didn't know what he was doing. But that's kind of Ted Turner, though. That's kind of his vibe. Is the guy who would fire the manager and then say, I'll do it myself. Manage the Atlanta Braves for a couple games and then realize, okay, maybe I'm not a good manager. Maybe somebody else should manage my team.
Yeah, it was part publicity stunt, but also he was eccentric. And, a lot of these, billionaires are eccentric. But, one thing that I've always thought about, philosophically, are they eccentric, or do they just have fuck you money and do shit that we'd probably all do if we had fuck you money? You know what I mean? Are some of the things we chalk up as eccentric just shit that you can get away with because you have the money that aren't necessarily eccentric? The team lost 16 games in a row or something, and he said, fuck this. Let me see if I could do any better. I could see myself doing that if I owned a baseball team. You know what I mean? That doesn't necessarily mean he was eccentric, but Ted was considered, like a lot of those kind of guys, an eccentric billionaire. He a true media mogul. I mean, we don't want to just gloss over, he owned the Braves and the Hawks. He later owned WCW. His connection to wrestling is why we're talking about him, of course. But obviously, just created a cable television empire out of what was just a small local Atlanta, over the air UHF station or whatever. And what's been lost to history is, I'm pretty sure the first wrestling he ever aired was actually Vincent J. McMahon's WWF, when it was still when before it was even TBS, when it was WTCG, whatever it was.
TCG, it was WTCG, yeah.
Yeah, when it was still a local Atlanta channel. For a while there, he was airing WWF tapes. It didn't last very long, and it's been lost to history because I don't even think it's when they were a cable network yet. I think it was even predated that. I might be misremembering that, or I might have the facts.
No. That 100%. You're 100% correct.
Yeah, and then once he expanded and turned it into WTBS, or the early days of when he got it on the earliest days of cable, that's when he brought in Georgia Championship Wrestling. And, that's why people...
And that was the Angunkel connection, which is a phenomenal connection, is that... he gets the taste of wrestling on his network from, WWF, and then, he meets an old fling, an old friend, who is married to a very successful pro wrestler who owns a pro wrestling promotion. Then, basically, Ray Gunkel, he says, hey, you got a promotion? Yeah, fine. Now let's air it on my network, and the rest is history. Right. So.
It made more sense than airing tapes from the Northeast, right? So it was local. It was right there in his own backyard. So I'm sure that was part of the thought process. But yeah.
Well, even the beginnings before the cable network too, we should point out, if people don't know, he inherited his father's business, which you might say, oh, well, yeah, he got a head start above everybody. Well, he inherited it at 24 because his dad killed himself. And his dad's business was billboards. It was like, highway billboards, which, by the way, Dave Meltzer describing highway billboards is incredible. He took way too long to explain billboards, which did not need explaining. Everybody knows what billboards are.
I didn't hear Meltzer. Meltzer did the Ted Turner audio already?
A little bit. Yeah, I didn't listen to all of it, but I did a little bit at the beginning of the most recent Observer Radio. But
I'm sure it'll be a slightly different in tone than our Ted Turner audio.
He did not go, whoa, 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 to Ann Kunkel. So he did go, like we did. So.
Maybe that's sex with women who shall not be named from the famous tweet. You don't know.
Right.
You have no idea.
Right. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Who knows? We don't know.
Yeah.
But
we all assume it's like Joshi wrestlers, but who knows? It could be fucking Ann Gunkel.
It could have. Yeah. Wow. Jeez. Yeah. Maybe. Who knows?
We're not helping our case for Dave ever doing this show, but listen, this is what we do here.
Yeah, ship sailed. Well, he can come on the show and deny it. You know what? That's the thing.
That's right. It's a good.
If it's not true, come on and tell us that it's not true. But where the hell was I? We keep getting caught up with Ann Gunkel.
You were talking about how he inherited the billboard business.
Oh yeah, he inherited the billboard business from his father, which again is like, I'm sure wasn't making like $1 billion. It was a freaking billboard business or whatever, and he inherits it at 24 years old because his dad kills himself. So it's like, it's just kind of crazy that that's how it starts, and then he just has this wild ass idea to take this TV network and make it a super station and have it, and people are like, what the fuck are you talking, man? Why would you ever do that? That's so stupid. Yeah. And it worked. And then even more stupid, he says, we're going to have a 24-hour cable news network. And everyone's like, what's the fucking what? Who are the characters? Yeah. Who's going to watch that? He goes, the news. People are going to watch, like, the idea that, like, because now it's unfathomable that in 2026, because so many people are just obsessed. I mean, everybody just, so many people watch the news now. It's just like not even. Yeah. But like at that time, it was like, well, yeah, you get the news at, 9:00 on your local affiliate, and that's it. Why would you need any more news? And he's like, no, all day, 24/7 news.
Right.
That's what we're going to be. It's just news all the time. And it was just impossible for anybody to fathom why anybody would ever watch that channel. Why would somebody watch a channel that's only the news?
Yeah.
And again, it seems like now it seems such second nature, but yeah, I get it. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's like,
what are you going to air? What are you going to show? And he's like, the news. We're just going to talk about what's going on. And you're like, what? Right. What's the shows? Who's on the shows? I don't know. They're just people talking about the news. It's like you could see the boardroom, and it's just Ted being like, it's the news. I don't know what to tell you. It's what it's going to be, and it worked. Worked pretty well.
Yeah. Just a true media mogul who had innovative and forward-thinking ideas. Some of these, quote, media moguls today, they're just guys who, for some reason, make $1 billion a year to make decisions that lose everybody money. Like
all these streaming people. Give that man a bonus.
Zaslav
Peacock
and all
lost
these people,
$8 billion this quarter. Give that man a $40 million bonus. Okay.
Right, like Zaslav and these guys. They just, all they do is lose other people's money and get paid to do it.
All you idiots did was take a very successful thing that had been successful for decades, and now all of you are losing money hand over fist. Here's a giant bonus. Thank you for saying, I don't know, why don't we just lose more money? Brilliant. Brilliant idea. I love it. Yeah.
And you got this guy, he just had fresh ideas and things that people were like, this could never work. And I'm going to start all my shows 5 minutes after the hour. Because
Turner time.
Yeah, because he's like, well, if we keep people, he had this whole strategy, and that lasted how long? That lasted well past when he was long out of the company, when they finally reverted back and were starting and got rid of the 605, 705, 735.
He also did that for the TV guides in the newspapers too, because it would stick out. Everybody else was in a straight line.
Singular listing.
Yep. And then boom, here's TBS and TNT jetted out 5 minutes away from everybody else.
Right. So there, he just that kind of, and again, kind of an eccentric guy. Did you ever see the CNN Doomsday video?
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen the Turner Doomsday video, right? A million times. Like that's been making the rounds on the internet forever. Like for people who don't know, and of course the height of the Cold War, I'm sure, had something to do with it. But he had this video that he had decreed, if it ever comes to that and it's the end of the world, we need to play this video on CNN and all of my assorted networks. And it's just like this somber video of like this band playing some like somber song, and it's like it's strange to watch that, because it was intended for if like global nuclear war broke out or an asteroid hit the fucking earth or something. He had thought about that and thought, well, people are going to want information. We're going to let them know they're going to die, right? And then we're going to play this video. and we're gonna to play us out.
Play us out on life and the world and humanity.
Play us out, literally, we're gonna have a doomsday video set up, and I don't even know, is that still the decree? Do they have to still honor that? If I
hope so. I hope it's that video too. I hope it's that exact video from outside of his estate from like 1986 or something like that. It's perfect. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, love the Dooms. I watch that a couple times a year, and I watch it all the way through, and it's surreal to watch that, and you just, and the song is perfect and all of that, but that's just, Ted Turner. He was an eccentric guy, but he accomplished so much and he did so much, and we don't really have a lot of guys like that anymore.
No.
We got like these Zaslav characters who aren't impressive at all. It's like, where are the Ted Turners? Where can you have one now in this day and age? Would people just cancel them instantly for something like
maybe? But they can also just be like not total fucking assholes. That's the thing with Ted Turner, is that he was eccentric without being just a total fucking asshole. And I think somebody brought up a good point that he's a rare billionaire that has like a family that loves him. Like everybody loves him. Everybody that knows him enjoys his company, enjoyed his company. His ex-wives, they all still talk to him, and like his family still talks to him. And think of the billionaires that we have today. Everybody hates them. Their families hate them. Their wives hate them. Their ex-wives hate them. Nobody likes these guys anymore. And a lot of them are deeply unlikable. So I get it. But Ted Turner just wasn't. So I don't know. Can you get you're right. He might get canceled for stuff too. But the other thing is he did so much positive too. And he did so many things that were just kind of off the wall. But most of it was done in a positive manner. He, you know what I mean? Buying a bunch of land and just keeping it for ranches to save the bison. Becoming a sailor. He just decided, I'm going to fucking become a sailor.
America's Cup.
Right.
The America's Cup stuff where he just became a competitive sailor.
Right.
He's duking it out with Dennis Conner in the fucking America's Cup. Just totally, that's just rich guy shit.
Yes,
that's
but today's rich guys, fucking Bezos wouldn't do something that cool. He would just buy a giant yacht and then park it someplace, and then the sewage from the yacht would flood a small village, and they'd just be like, whatever, who cares? But
no, what we get now is Zuckerberg and Elon threatening to cage fight each other, but then they don't even go through with it.
Right.
At least go through with the cage fight.
Right, do the cage fight. Yeah.
I would love to see those two guys have a cage fight, but they're not going to go through with it. Ted Turner, if cage fighting was his thing instead of sailing, he would have fought somebody in the fucking cage.
Yeah, he would just do it because he just wanted to, and I want to do this, and this sounds fun, so let's fucking do it. So yeah, it would have. It's interesting. Will we ever have people like Ted Turner ever again? I don't know.
We won't because they're gonna. Like I said, people are too obsessed with making sure we know how much everybody sucks and canceling everybody and finding reasons why we should actually not like them. And if you're a billionaire, there's going to be reasons why you should probably.
Sure.
So it's you can't, the world isn't fun enough for that anymore because we have to find reasons why these people are assholes. I saw people canceling Ted Turner when he died. I saw them entering threads and doing the well actually thing. Actually, I saw one on Blue Sky. That isn't even meant to be a bit, where somebody was like, well, you shouldn't be too nice about Ted because I think the gist of it was he loved to push population control. Now, what it was a film clip of Ted Turner because he cared about the environment a lot.
Yes.
Captain Planet, all that fucking shit, the bison. So a reporter was asking him on the street because he said something about how we have to have less people because people are the ones that use the resources.
Correct.
And if we have less people, we're using less. It's basically just a simple, logical point. He wasn't advocating to exterminate people or anything.
No. He was basically saying we need to check this because if we continue to let population go the way it's going, we're going to run out of natural resources, which, by the way,
I'm not even saying that's not controversial, what he's saying. Okay, you can look at that through a controversial lens. But the point is, nobody wanted to fire him into the sun in 1986 when he said that. But in 2026, we're firing him to the sun after he's dead because he said that in 1986, and we're extrapolating that into he supported extermination and population control, when it was really just a wacky leftist environmentalist take that he had.
Yeah.
And nothing more, and it's like, that's a good example of how it's just people, the 80s were so different in that we revered the rich. Now we hate them and want them to die. So you're looking for reasons. And listen, if that might even be valid, I don't know. I'm not getting into all that.
Today's give you a little bit more reasons, I think. But anyway.
But do they, or do we just know the reasons strong? Do we know that? That's my point. Maybe we just didn't know everything about the previous guys and we didn't look up to them. You know what I mean? So it's like, anyway, I think my point here is that I don't think it's possible because we live in a world where we just want to take everybody down. And the easiest targets are the punch-up targets like fucking billionaires, and we just want to take those. So, no, I don't think it's possible to have a guy like this because we're always putting everybody through a purity test, So,
yeah, the thing with I'm in my head, I'm thinking in 2026, if there was a billionaire who bought a bunch of land and they're like, oh, you bought a bunch of land. He's like, it's for the bison. They're like, you should donate that land. And he's like, no, I just want to have bison be alive. I just want to own 16 ranches and have a bunch of bison on it. They're like, hey, you should donate that to somebody and build. So yeah, I just want a land for the animals. But yeah, I don't know. I also think I don't think people like Ted. I don't know. He's a unique billionaire in this in that way. I don't know.
I agree.
He just seems so different.
They'd find a reason, Rich. They'd find.
Oh, I know.
There'd be something. Find a fucking quote.
He had a few quotes. Yeah, he had a few quotes that were. But again, you can kind of chalk it up to it's eccentric Ted. But anyway, but that's Ted Turner. Anything else on the wrestling aspect of Ted?
See, people are getting testy in the chat right now because if you even knock on the door of defending a billionaire, people you can't today. It's impossible. But anyway, that was Ted Turner, and listen, again, the inadvertent savior of pro wrestling for decades.
Yeah.
Of real pro wrestling and preventing a monopoly, even if he didn't realize that's what he was doing. And he absolutely did not realize that was his doing. He was never motivated by, I can't let Vince McMahon take over the wrestling world. That was not his motivation ever.
But Vince obsessed with the guy because he wanted to be on his level. And that's the thing, that Vince fancied himself like Ted Turner, but he wasn't in the same stratosphere as Ted Turner. He wasn't culturally in the same stratosphere as Ted Turner. Financially, he wasn't in the same stratosphere as Ted Turner. In terms of what he owned, what he did, not even close to what Ted Turner did. And I think that always really ate at him. So it was always this, Ted Turner's trying to take us down. It's like, he doesn't care. Because Vince didn't want to say Eric Bischoff's competing with us, because that doesn't, who the fuck is Eric Bischoff? Who cares? He's just some little peon, some former announcer. He trained for us, and he did. No, it's all way different, in terms of the category that Ted was in and the category that Vince was in. And I always laughed at, they would do the Monday Night Wars DVD. If you remember, they did the thing where Vince McMahon talked about how Ted Turner called him and said, hey, Vince, I'm in the wrestling business. And Vince with such disdain, I'm in the wrestling business. He goes, well, all right, Ted. No problem, because I'm in the entertainment business. And I'm like, it's Ted Turner you're talking about. You idiot. You're such a, he's such a stuck-up asshole. Oh, I don't do wrestling. I do entertainment. It's like, you're telling that to Ted Turner, who owns CNN and TBS and TNT and owns the Hawks and the fucking Braves and all these things. What are you talking? Oh, no, I'm not in the wrestling business. Like he's just some startup promoter. He's just Bill Watts. You're not talking to Bill Watts, dude. It's Ted Turner.
Well, Vince operates best when he creates an enemy for himself.
Yes.
And it was also, he was using pro wrestling tactics to create a baby face and a heel with himself, obviously in the baby face position. That's what that was, and again, it's Ted Turner probably hardly ever thought about Vince McMahon at all.
Yeah, so, if ever. Yeah, if ever. I know. Because it's been funny that people were like, I looked on his biography and it didn't mention Vince once. And it's like, well, yeah, why would he? I mean, that's while he's a major deal, and we're going to spend an hour talking about his contributions to wrestling here, any other normal obituary for Ted Turner is pretty much never, ever going to mention maybe WCW in passing, maybe, but most other ones will not. Like,
it was a business rival in one of the smallest pieces of business that the man was involved in. It would be like him mentioning one of his Billboard rivals. I mean, why?
right.
Why would he bring that up? Like, it's important to Vince. He's obviously important. I'm not even saying that he's not an important figure to Vince's life. Obviously, he was.
God, yes.
He was a thorn in Vince's side. I can understand why Vince was obsessed with him. But Vince was not an important figure in his life, and there's no reason he should have been any more than the owner of the fucking, the owner of the fucking Seattle Mariners when he owned the Braves. Like, why would he mention that person? It totally makes sense.
Absolutely. Someone said, do you think Ted ever saw the Billionaire Ted videos? I believe he did see them, and I think he just thought they were funny because he didn't care. He was Ted Turner.
What does he care? What the fuck's the difference?
Right. Again, he's not going to oh, God damn it. This podunk fucking wrestling promoter thinks I'm an idiot. Oh, no. As he's, fucking Jane Fonda in his estate. He's like, I don't care. Okay, Vince. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Sure. All right, whatever. And then Vince would make fun of the fact that I think he said, because Ted had some he was an early mental illness guy. He's a man. I don't know. The wokes might actually enjoy Ted Turner a little bit more than you think. But so I think, what was the drug he was on? He was on a certain drug, and Vince, who probably has no idea what that drug was, would make fun of him about it. And I think Ted was just like, I don't know, I take it because I have mental issues, whatever. But I think that one of the big things was Vince. I think was it lithium or whatever they was. I forget exactly what he was taking, but something like that. And that was a part of the Billionaire Ted thing. And people were like, oh, no, Vince, you shouldn't do that. It's like, Ted's going to get really mad. And apparently Ted was just like, I don't fucking care. Again, I don't care. Okay, this guy's a little podunk wrestling promoter is mad that I'm in his business. I don't fucking care. No skin off my back. It's all good, man. It's, I'm fighting fellow board members of Turner to make sure that we're making these $1 billion moves. I don't really care that Vince McMahon thinks I'm an idiot and go talk like this. It's not even how Ted Turner talks. But have you watched the Billionaire Ted videos recently? They're actually they've actually kind of gotten funnier over the years because they're so absurd that I actually find them a little endearing these days.
Very silly, very silly videos.
But I think Ted wasn't slamming his fist, going, "What? What did this man say to me? What did he say about me?" So, he just was watching Captain Planet instead. So, you're probably a little too old for Captain Planet, though, right?
I remember it. I mean, I never fucking watched it. I mean, you think? First of all, I'd be annoyed by that even as a child. Second of all, it definitely came after. I'm gonna watch some fucking eco-friendly superhero.
What's the most obvious Flagship thing ever is that I loved Captain Planet and you hated Captain Planet. Yeah. It's perfect. What better represents the Flagship than me being yeah, I'm a Planeteer and you can be one too, and you being like, what is this eco bullshit?
Fuck out of here.
I'm gonna use my plastic bag, you fucking lame asses.
Get lost.
Right. And I'm like, all right.
I'm gonna
get paper bags at the grocery store.
I'm still flushing the toilet twice every time I pee. Get the fuck out of here. Which I still do out of habit.
Twice, huh? Oh, interesting.
2 flushes every time I
even
pee.
Even with a good quality toilet.
It's just a habit, man. I don't do it for necessity.
it's just stuck. That's why your ball cocks keep going out of.
That's right. My ball cocks are an absolute mess in more ways than one. Little do you know. My ball cocks are an absolute mess because I flush twice every time I pee. It takes 21 days to form a habit, and it takes a lifetime to break one.
There it is.
So, I don't know why I do it. Every time I do it, I'm like, why am I doing this? But I fucking do it halfway through the pee, and then at the end of the pee. My carbon footprint is a fucking crater. I don't know. I don't pay any attention.
My dad was a classic 2 flusher too. I always asked him, and I don't think he had a good reason for it either. He just kind of did it. So,
yeah.
But there you go. Yeah, Cartoon Network too. That was him. CNN, TBS, TNT, WCW. Great legacy for Ted Turner. So passed away at 87 years old. So that is Ted Turner. I'm sure we'll talk about him again this year for Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. But I voted for him every year that he's been on the ballot, obviously, because I asked for him to be on the ballot. And he came really close last year, and I do wonder if this year he'll get a bit of a death bump, but we'll see. I've seen some people ask, do you think WWE, in our chat room, people were asking, do you think WWE will do a 10 bell salute for him? I don't think they will.
I mean, I don't think they will, but they do own the library. So it could be a situation where it's like the weapons are down. We won. What's the point? So I'll be honest, it won't surprise me if they do, but I don't think that they will.
I think they won't do a 10 bell. They might. They absolutely will not do a 10 bell. They might have Michael Cole coming back from a break mentioning Ted Turner, the former, president of WCW or the owner of WCW or whatever, and then move on from there and just say something real quick in passing and then move on.
Just a shot at the desk.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to start the show or whatever with a Ted Turner 10 bell salutes or whatever. They're going to definitely, but I think they might have Cole at a booth, kind of say something. And someone in the chat room says, was Turner ever on wrestling TV? He was a couple times. Yeah, he did when they did the Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair, Bash at the Beach contract signing. He was there. I think he appeared on a Nitro or two. Usually they would have like Pete Lambros or something like that. It always have these like actual, the best part about that, that's why I love WCW, is when they would have like, you'd be like, who's this fucking old guy in a suit? It was like actually the WCW lawyer that they would have like, because they would be in Atlanta and they'd be like, Lambros, get out there. You got to be on the wrestling show. So it'd be like, Eric Bischoff talking down to like the actual, like they didn't hire a fake guy to look like a lawyer. It's like, no, bring the actual Turner, like, who's the Turner sports guy that would always appear? He was, God, what was that guy's name? He ended up firing Eric Bischoff at one point. What was his name? If I mention the name, you might.
We'll see if the Google machine will work here.
Turner sports guy, like 1998 or something like that. Fuck, what was the guy's name? Unfortunately, right now it's all coming up with Ted Turner.
Yeah, it's not going to work out.
Someone in the chat room will know. He was like a skinny guy.
Van Earl Wright.
No. Shit. I'm blanking on his name. He eventually, he was like in charge of the Olympics and something like that. Harvey Schiller. Thank you, Connor
Harvey
Murphy.
Schiller.
Harvey Schiller, who again, like, I'd be like, who the fuck's this guy? And it's like Harvey. He was like an actual executive with Turner. It's like, what? Right. Like, that's so cool. Like WWE would never do that. They would just hire a fake lawyer or whatever. But WCW was like, nah, man, Harvey Schiller, get out there. And the segments wouldn't be good because these guys didn't know how to talk all that much. And they were like, but fucking Nick Lambros and Dr. Harvey Schiller would be out there, cutting their promos. And
they were not performers.
No. So was it right? Was it a better idea to just hire a guy and say, yeah, he's the executive of whatever? But maybe. But I prefer WCW's way, much more organic that way. But there you go. So that is Ted Turner and his impact on pro wrestling. All right, where do you want to go, Joe? Do you want to go Backlash, Champion Carnival, Dontaku? Which way do you want to go here?
I don't know. What do you want to do? I know that we were expecting maybe some follow-up on some WWE cuts, but nothing happened. In the last 2 days. There's still the mystery names that are allegedly still on the potential cut list that have been floating around that haven't been cut. Maybe they took the pay cuts. Maybe they didn't. The name of the mystery man who took the 50% pay cut has not been revealed yet. Let me address that real quick because we didn't really talk about this when we talked about it on Tuesday. I've been seeing a lot of talk that it would be disrespectful to report the name of the person who took the 50% pay cut. And once again, we have another schism here between reality and fucking wrestling fans who are completely disconnected from reality. That's absolutely news. It's reportable news, and it's not disrespectful to report it. I just want to make that clear. I don't know who the person is. If I did, and I had stone cold sourcing on it, I would come on this show and tell everybody who the person was who took the 50% cut, and I wouldn't lose a wink of fucking sleep. Okay? I mean, why are we so precious about this wrestling news as compared to anything? Do you think if a major television star let's say that, what's the biggest television show or streaming or otherwise on TV right now? Just name a bit. Yellowstone. How about Yellowstone? Yeah, Yellowstone.
Euphoria, whatever. I'll go Euphoria. Let's do that.
Yeah, Euphoria, Yellowstone. Let's say on Yellowstone that Costner took a 50% pay cut. You don't think Variety would be all over that? You don't think that wouldn't be reported across all major outlets if Kevin Costner took a 50% pay cut because Yellowstone was feeling the heat from whatever the reason be. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? The idea that it would be disrespectful to find out who this is and report it? Give me a break. You don't think if an NFL coach or something took a 50% pay cut, it wouldn't be front page news? That it would be, that people would say, oh, we can't report that. That's disrespectful to Kevin Costner. That's disrespectful to Sean McVay to report that he took a pay cut. Bullshit. It's news.
News is news.
It's fucking news. It's of public interest, and it's news. And we really got to stop this shit. Okay? Nonsense. Because someone is going to report it, whether it's Dave Meltzer, Sean Ross Sapp, Mike Johnson, Joe Lanza. Please slip into the DMs.
Please,
I'd love to report it.
Let it be you. Yes.
I would love to report it. That's a big scoop. Okay? We're not in the scoop biz, but I have one now and then. I'll tell you what, I was on top of that Evil story. Start to finish. Any credit for JL? No, but that's okay. We're used to that around here. But listen.
Hiromu too, it looks like you're going to be around that one too. But
that's right. But listen, whoever reports that's going to get a lot of shit from these shut-in bubble WWE loons who don't understand how the real world operates. So I just wanted to, because we didn't talk about that facet of it on Tuesday, and it was one of those things.
It's so, I know, I saw it, and I'm like, it's none of our business who did that, and it's like, but if it's interest to you, then it's not how it works, and we don't have to protect these poor little innocent souls. They're okay. They're all millionaires. They're good. Like whoever took that pay cut is probably a multi-millionaire, and it's okay. They'll survive. They'll be all right. You know, their lives will be okay. They're fine. But these people, and it's just like, that would never happen anywhere else. Yes, it would. It would happen everywhere else except for wrestling.
It would happen literally everywhere else.
Yes.
I mean, what the fuck? NFL players restructure their contracts all the time and take pay cuts.
Yes.
It's always news. It's always news. What are we doing here?
It boggles my mind. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And I don't know if this extends to other. Is this just a wrestling bubble thing? Because it's not a sports thing. I know that because obviously
it's a wrestling bubble thing.
It has to be, right? Because I don't follow. Like I'm not on like like I follow sports, but I'm not in like the discourse of sports or whatever. No one gets mad at like an NFL reporter reporting anything about the NFL, right? Yeah, because they're normal people. Yeah,
it's just normal. That's the business. No one gets mad at this in entertainment. No one gets mad at this in sports. And quite honestly, no one gets mad at this in wrestling except one corner of the fan. We all know who they are.
Right.
The dumbest people in the fan. That's who it is. In reality, it boggles the mind. They really must not be privy to anything else going on around them.
I like to live like that just one day. I think it'd be interesting to try it, right? You're just not aware of anything else around you.
Oh, I thought you meant being a WWE fan.
God,
like,
no.
No.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no. I meant like just being like blissfully ignorant, like going through your life and just not knowing anything about anything.
Yeah. That's my wife, man. I'll get her down here. She can talk about it.
Yeah, God bless her. Yeah.
She don't know shit except her fucking kids. That's it. She loves those kids, raises the kids, goes to work, pays the bills, goes upstairs, watches Love Island, goes to sleep. I love it. It's phenomenal. It's awesome.
Not a wrinkle on her, no stress ever, just perfect.
I know I tell this story all the time. She legit, straight face, looked me in the eye one time and said, is Donald Trump a Republican or a Democrat? 1000%.
I'd love it.
No clue.
I'd love to be.
I was like, listen. I envy you, and this is why I married you. You're phenomenal. It's fantastic. Never politics never get discussed in this house.
It's great. Yeah, the idea that
subject never even gets broached.
It's so good. Yeah, I got a commie ass wife over here, so yeah, it gets discussed all the time over here. But
here's the problem, though. She works with some fucking political loon now.
Oh, okay.
So this lady just does it all day in her ear, and then she comes home and asks me all the questions.
And you're like, I don't want
to. She doesn't want to engage the woman because she just yeahs her and yeah. But then she comes home and has the questions for me, like, well, she said this thing, and then I'm like, first of all, I don't even know all that much about, but I know the broad strokes, you know what I mean? And I start to explain, and then she instantly loses. She's like, oh, good thing I don't talk about this.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm
I'm
gonna go eat some Cheez-Its, get high, and watch Love Island. So
and yeah, exactly. Yeah,
which is a great life, and I just wish I had it. So.
And then she just stares at me blankly and goes, "Are we going to do another episode of Tulsa King tonight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Right.
You damn right we are. Right.
And then we move on. You know. And
she falls asleep, and then you toss and turn for hours in the middle of the night, thinking of all the dumb shit that you know.
Yeah. She's just like, "Who's going for the Reds tonight? Singer?" I'm like, "Yes." I'm like, "Let's go watch the game and then watch Tulsa King and then hit the sack." How's that sound? She's like, "All right, let's do it." So, all right, so that I just wanted to sneak that in. With
yes. Well, since we're talking about the Loons, let's talk about their professional wrestling show here. Backlash coming up this weekend. WWE Backlash, not WrestleMania Backlash. Remember that one year where they made a bunch of events WrestleMania? It was like, no, WrestleMania's got a lot of, SEO value, so all of our shows are called WrestleMania now. It didn't last very long. So this is just a normal Backlash. What's funny about this show is 2 different matches are going to be airing on ESPN2, which leaves 3 matches on the actual show itself. So if you're a fucking moron that pays for ESPN Unlimited, you just get ads, 7-minute matches, and you get 3 of them. Fuck you, is what they're telling you. It's so ridiculous.
Can I address something else?
Please.
I don't know why I'm asking. It's my fucking show. I'm going to address something else, Rich Craich. You ready for this one? Remember a while ago we talked, people thought we were joking about them with the 4-match pay-per-views and that having to do with filling the buckets. But now that we've seen the behavior of TKO over the last couple of weeks, are people starting to see it now? That's absolutely why Levesque books these 4-match pay-per-views. He can pretend it's about focusing on, they like to focus on just a couple of stories, you don't want to No, they don't want these people to fucking work. It's all about the bottom line. That's what these fucking 4-match pay-per-views are, So I would hope the last couple of weeks I've put that firmer into focus as you talk about this 3-match pay-per-view that everybody's about to get.
3-match. It's a 5-match show, but 2 of them are airing on ESPN2. It's unbelievable. And then when I give you the names of the people that are on this show, imagine paying, thankfully I get ESPN Unlimited through my cable, but can you even just fathom the type of person that would be paying? You exclusively pay. You don't watch other sports. You don't have MLB TV. You don't care about college baseball. You don't care about any of that shit. You subscribe to ESPN Unlimited to watch your world wrestling entertainment on ESPN Unlimited. This is what they're giving you for your, $30, I think is what it is, the base price of ESPN Unlimited. So airing on ESPN2, Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. So we're finally getting Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. This is where we'll find out, hopefully, if Braun Breaker's spear just sucks now. Or if did they make it suck on purpose, or did you just throw a bad? Purpose. Yeah, I think it sucks on purpose too, but we'll find out here.
He's been told to gently hook the man with his forearm very lightly and take a bigger bump than the guy taking the move actually takes.
Right.
And we're gonna call that a spear. Yeah, it used to be an objectively cool move that he did, but now it's been WWEized.
Yeah, can't have.
But they'll all defend it because we all care about safety.
Well, yeah, it's safer. I'm just glad it's safer. More people shouldn't be getting hurt.
Yeah, getting hurt.
Yeah. Imagine watching wrestling that way. Oh God,
off motion.
Yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
Where I'm watching Darby and I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, Darby.
Here's the problem. But see, this is the thing. If it was the other way around, they would be calling people nerds for preaching safety.
Correct, but they're the safety company.
Was the one, right? And if their company was the one, guys diving off ladders through panes of glass, they would be. These people have no. They're like CM Punk. They don't really stand for anything. These people,
right?
That's really what it comes down to.
He might be on the show. We're going to talk about it in a second. Also airing on ESPN2.
He's coming on the show.
Pepsi
Bill
show.
Will be here.
I don't think he'll be on this show.
That was closer to reality than you might think.
Yeah, there was a point where maybe, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
There was a pipeline. Yeah. I mean,
I'd say the 3 years of us calling him Fraudulent Phil have probably rendered that a no-go. But who knows? Yeah,
he calls me Blackjack Lanza. That's not as nasty as Fraudulent Phil.
No, Fraudulent Phil's pretty rough. So
Well, he said, well, what's Blackjack Lanza have to say this week? I mean, I've heard that before. That I mean, he's heard us call him fraudulent Phil, I'm sure.
I'm sure. Well, I'm sure he has. I just mean that would probably, if we said, hey,
deter him from showing up,
come on the show.
That might encourage him to show up.
Yeah, honestly, you know what? Yeah, it's probably not the word. You know, he, if we just ignored him or like sucked up to him, we probably hated. He actually probably would rather come on the show now because we call him fraudulent.
The problem is he would never give us the rub because a million people will listen, and he would rather. He doesn't want to give us that, even in exchange for like cutting a promo on us. And it would be a horrible idea to have him on because people always side with the talent when they cut a promo on somebody on Twitter, you know what I mean? So it's like we'd be setting ourselves up to look like dipshits.
Right, but we'd be very popular in Blue Sky that week, though, when we argued with them. They'd be our one time to pop the Blue Skies. Would be the time when we bring on fraudulent Phil and talk about how much of a fraud he is. But anyway, we'll see if he's on the show. We'll talk about that. So airing on ESPN2, Asuka versus Io Sky. Will they bring back Kyrie to finish the story? Who fucking cares? Stupid. Probably not, people, but sure, if they do, you can pop and say, oh, that's cool, they brought her back, and then she can not do anything again. Just like, hey, how's R-Truth doing, by the way? How's that going for old Ron Cena, R-Truth, that we had to bring back, and now we're just, Well,
he's on a hot run.
Yeah.
On a hot run. He came back in a hoodie, and he was serious. He was going to be a serious competitor, and then he was gone a week later.
Right.
So,
and then he was back as John Cena
cosplay. And ultimately, he'll be right back in TNA where he would have ended up had they not brought him back. So he ended up making another year's worth of money from them, and he's going to end up right where he was going to end up anyway. So he's the big winner here, and good for him.
Good for him.
See, the thing about the R-Truth thing, never any animosity towards him.
No. Oh God, no. No.
Yeah, he played them like a fiddle, and he's earned every dime of that. So good for him.
Someone said, when's Austin Aries coming on the Flagship? Now, he just offered to take us to dinner.
You might think as well.
And that's cool. He offered to take us to dinner. He didn't say anything about coming on the show, but I think if we asked him to come on the show, he would.
And Rich didn't want to go. I would go to dinner with Austin. Rich didn't want to go to dinner with Austin. I don't think he would. I think
he'd be annoying about what you ate. I think you would like order something. He'd be like, you get like a hamburger, and he'd be like, That's the point. He said he's not like that. Remember? He's like, come on, I'm just a guy. I wouldn't do that. Do you believe that Austin Aries is not like that?
I believe that. Yes, I do. With the caveat of, I think he's probably the kind of guy where once you get on his bad side, then he becomes the meme of what people think he is.
Okay.
See what I'm saying?
Right. So yeah, you think if you guys were just cordially having a good time and talking shop,
he would just watch me eat. I think he would just watch me eat the chicken wings. Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't care. I think he would order the portobello mushroom wrap, and he would watch me eat the chicken wings and not give a shit, and we would just watch the game, and I would talk about 2006 ROH angles, and that might annoy him. But I
feel like the fuse is going to be short with him. That's my thing. Is like I think you can have a good discussion with him for about
the fuse is gonna
30,
be short,
45 minutes. But I think if you get to an hour, you're going to say something that's going to bother him. Yeah, something of the wrong topic. You say the wrong thing. You mention something about someone. Like that's where I think things might go south in a hurry with Austin.
Like probiotics come up, and he just goes on some kind of unhinged rant.
Right.
And I don't even know what probiotics are, but
and that would bother him, and I think that would bother him,
right?
Because he would say like, that guy, he just takes too many probiotics, and you're like, is that good or bad?
That's what would happen. And then
and he's like, how can you not understand what's going into your body, and then that's when it starts, and then you're like, well, I don't know, man. I just like chicken wings and Coke Z. I don't know what to tell you, brother.
I'd be like, listen, man, I don't know what probiotics are, and quite frankly, I don't care to know. And then that would just totally annihilate his brain, and he'd be very mad about that.
Yeah.
So. That's probably what would happen.
So we should probably just put a timer on it. We should put a timer on the dinner, and then. But you love a big salad. Would you? Okay, you're a big salad guy. Would you order a salad to appease him, or would you order the wings just to know that it might hit him?
Well, it depends where we are. If we're at like B-dubs, I'm getting wings. If we're at fucking Pluckers, I'm getting wings. If we go somewhere and I happen to know that they make an excellent salad, I would order a salad. I'm not going to order a salad to appease him, though.
Okay.
And here's the thing. my salad's gonna have a pile of fucking meat on it.
I was gonna say you probably have a big ass a bunch of fried chicken on that salad anyway. So
I'm not getting kale and tofu. Okay, there's gonna be some grilled chicken on that motherfucker. So I might get a Cobb, and he's not gonna be happy with the Cobb. You know what I'm saying?
The bacon bits. Yeah. Those bacon bits are gonna trigger him.
Bacon bits, the fucking eggs probably. He's gonna fuck him up. So it's like. No, I'm not going to appease him, but I'm telling you, I don't think he wants to be appeased. He would 1,000% come on this show, though.
Oh yeah,
he would 1,000%.
Yeah.
He didn't look. He said we got it 90% right,
and he said so he wants to come on to correct the 10, of course.
He said there were a few things that we were a little off, but he respected the fact of how frank we are and the way that we laid it out and talked about him, and he was amused. You could tell he was genuinely amused by it. And then sold him because I don't know. You got spooked. You got spooked. We could be getting all kinds of shit out of him. What's going on in Arena Mexico? The one time he was there, and
he's back now. Maybe we could follow up.
He went back. Now.
That's right.
He's back. He did go back. We could really get to down and dirty on why MLW doesn't air anywhere anymore. I'm sure he's privy to that.
Right. Yeah, what the fuck? Can we talk about MLW? Can we do our check-in on MLW? Nobody gives a fuck about Backlash. Can we do a check-in on what the hell are we doing with MLW? Like, how are we? It's May 7th. We don't have. There is somebody in our chairman. I hope he's still around. There is somebody in our chairman who claims that one of his friends was hired as an editor for MLW, and he also doesn't know what's going on either.
Hey, they're out there signing Brick Savage, so I don't know.
They're signing wrestlers. They're, I guess, doing shows. They haven't aired stuff since February. They had a February taping, and we never saw it. Like, what is this? What are we doing here? And they're not saying anything either, which is the other great part about it.
Well, we could ask him about it, and he might have the answers.
Yeah.
I could even ask him about the time in Edison, New Jersey, that he shoulder bumped Rob Stryker, each guy going in the other direction. And Rob turned to him and said, I don't give a fuck if you're a heel. Don't bump into me. And he turned around and said, what'd you say, motherfucker? And basically we had to separate them. I could ask him about that and see if he remembers it.
There you go.
I could see if he remembers. He probably doesn't. Maybe he does. Maybe he's got a memory like a steel trap from all that probiotics that he's taken, right? So, But listen, you didn't take advantage of that potential relationship. Listen, you don't think this chat would pop through the roof if we just brought him on unannounced and we opened up the show with the Austin Starr one week live on the fucking live on Thursday? It's like, rip up the format sheet. We got a surprise for you. Austin Aries is here, and we do 90 minutes.
Former Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion Austin Aries.
You're telling me these people wouldn't love that? Come on now. We're in our own little corner. No one's
great promo on the Morishima doc. He's got a great promo as he's building up to his match with Morishima. Great match.
Hey, listen, he was in my top 100 that I was too cowardly to submit. How could he not be? So yeah, absolutely. You hear that, Austin? You were in my top 100.
So West Ash Trash, the man who was attacked by a raccoon, who apparently he does not have, he's good. The rabies are gone. Or I don't know if he had, not gone. He never had rabies. I should clarify, never had rabies. He is the person who claims that his buddy is hired by MLW as an editor, and he lives in Charleston, South Carolina, so that would make sense that they would want an editor that lives in their new headquarters, and claims he was hired to edit Fusion, and, quote, he has no clue. He thinks it's a Danny McBride vanity project now.
I've heard that theory that Court Bauer actually works for Danny McBride.
Yes, we talked about that the last time we checked in.
Yeah, that's a theory that's been going around. I think Bix was the first one that pitched me that, and it makes a lot of sense. So, wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. It adds up when you really look at all the and I guess I don't know what McBride gets out of this unless he's just a wrestling fan and it's like a low cost deal where he can just be involved in the wrestling business even if it loses. I mean, it's easy tax write off. I don't know, but there is some smoke to that. I mean, it would make sense.
Is it just washing money for the Don Gatto? Like he spends X amount of money advertising Don Gatto, so that you know what I mean? It's a loss leader for I don't know.
and then he gets to just hang out at wrestling shows.
Yeah.
Right? If he likes wrestling. It's definitely possible.
Yeah. Him and Paul Walter Hauser are like the very interesting characters in our wrestling world.
Yes.
But anyway, that's the ESPN2 Backlash portion of the pay-per-view.
Wait, that's the preview of Backlash?
No, hold on. We got the next three matches,
okay,
Joe. I'm
right,
gonna get your thoughts on this. All right. Kit Wilson and The Miz versus Danhausen and a mystery opponent, or a mystery partner, I should say. And the betting favorite to be the mystery partner of Danhausen is CM Punk.
Yeah, there's there's this promo, this commercial they play on Sirius. Have you heard this? If you haven't, because you would have said yes. So I think it's like Busted Open asking him. They're like, Danhausen, would you like to wrestle more in WWE? Yes, Danhausen would love to wrestle as much as possible if they would let me wrestle. And here we go. Now he's going to wrestle.
Yeah,
so there you go. You all wanted Danhausen in the ring? Well, now you're going to get Danhausen.
You fucking got it. Yeah, now you got it.
He's going to put a curse on Kit Wilson.
Yeah.
And The Miz, and it's going to be hilarious.
Kit Wilson and The Miz. You're paid $30 to watch Kit Wilson and The Miz. Versus Danhausen and Phil in face paint.
Danhausen. Yeah.
Incredible. Oh, my God. Absolutely incredible. All right. WWE United States title match, a first-time ever matchup, I believe. Trick Williams with Little Yachty versus Sami Zayn. Oh, wait. They just did that match. But you get it again. Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn.
The Lemon Pepper Stepper.
Yeah, Lemon Pepper Stepper. We've had some gingerbread men involved in the story. It's been very bad.
We never even talked about that.
Who cares? Well, do you care? I don't care. What do you want me to say?
Vince has to be back.
I saw that and I was like, wait, because I never buy into the Vince's back things, but then when I saw like
the
Sammy, somebody dressing up as the gingerbread man in like April, and I was like, hold on a minute, maybe he is back. The gingerbread. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's pretty brutal. I don't even know what.
That's this.
How would we even talk about the gingerbread?
Yeah, when would it come up? Yeah, why would it come up?
How can we even approach the topic though? Like, what do you even say?
I don't know.
All you can say is, "Hey, this sucks." Like, where's my goal with that?
Yeah, there is a gingerbread man, and it is fucking stupid. The end. Yeah. So that's your semi-main event, and your main event is Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu for the WWE World Heavyweight title.
That could be good.
That could be good. Will it be good?
It could be good.
Joe, Roman's gonna do something to Fatu and be like, "Hey, Bloodline boy, hey, you want to be a part of the Bloodline? You think you're part of the Bloodline? I'm the OTC. I'm the OTC. I'm QB number 1. I'm the OTC. The Bloodline ain't you, it's me." And it's like, yeah, you think it's gonna be good? Jacob Fatu will.
It could be good.
Somebody will spear. I will bet the fucking house that someone is going through a barricade here. Jacob Fatu will set up the steel steps.
Someone's
spear Roman Reigns through the barricade. Michael Cole will go, "Holy shit! Oh my God!" The fans will chant, "Holy shit! Holy shit!"
Well, we know that Tangaloa won't be doing a badly timed ref yank in this one.
Right. He can't fuck up the timing because they fired him. So
maybe this is when Lance Anoa'i finally shows up and joins the Bloodline saga. He's home crossing his fingers. And
Zilla Fatu is finally getting a call. He's been waiting for. They finally need me. I knew it.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Zilla Fatu. Well, they'd show up. I mean, they would show up in hoodies. That is one of Paul's stories. So I wouldn't rule it out that Zilla Fatu shows up.
Every time Lance's phone says Joe, he gets all excited, right? He answers the phone, and then Roman's like, "Oh shit, man! I meant to dial Uncle Sam. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lance. I'm sorry."
Or he gets like spam calls from Connecticut, and he answers every single one of them.
There you go.
He's like, "Yes, honey, shh. Hello, hi." I'm Tom of CBI Financial. Hi, how are you today? God damn it. Damn it. No, it wasn't. No, honey, it wasn't.
Nah, man, my auto warranty is not expired.
Yeah, I haven't bought a new car. Right. I just got a new car, man. Leave me alone. Poor Lance. That's gotta suck to be like, yeah, they hired them all, and then they didn't hire you, and now they all fired them. You're done. Yeah, you're not getting hired anytime soon.
Somewhere Manu is thinking, they're going to remember me. They're going to remember me.
That's Backlash, by the way.
Did you see Manu shooting on the guy on the indie show? Did you see that?
No. Recently?
Yeah, some guy was doing a fake Samoan gimmick, so he beat the shit out of him for real.
Hell yeah.
And then he cut a promo on him saying, that's how we really do in Samoa and all this.
Fuck
I think
yeah.
it was Manu.
I love it.
I was positive that was Manu.
That's like the Briscoes, Don't wear a fucking headdress if you're not an actual native. I love it.
Manu shoots on fake Samoan. Let's see what that brings up here. Yeah, it was him.
Hell yeah. That rocks.
There's video too. You got to look that up. It's,
Manu shoots on fake Samoan. Is that what you looked up?
Yeah, first result. Yeah, it's right. Alpha Jr. He's going by these days.
All right.
Alpha Jr. smacks independent wrestler around for acting Samoan. And then he cut the promo on
I love it. Wrestling's the best.
Oh, man. Wrestling used to be the best.
Yeah, it's true. It's not that good anymore.
Yeah, he beat the guy up for being a fake Samoan. Yeah.
Let's see. The 40-year-old wrestler took matters into his own hands, attacking his opponent even before the bell rang. Post-match, he delivered a promo asking to be acknowledged. It says, quote, "This is not cosplay. You had some bad advice from some fucking bad trainers. Because I don't play wrestle, I bleed for this shit. My family bled for this shit for generations. I'm not going to let some Puerto Rican shit put a skirt on and pretend he's Samoan. Now acknowledge me, the real fucking bloodline."
Yeah, he used the acknowledge me at the end, which was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because apparently it's a Puerto Rican guy and not a Samoan guy. Yeah. So he smacked him in the face and then he put the boots to him. and he cut the promo on him. And I had no idea he was still working. I didn't know.
No idea Manu was still there. Yeah, he was probably waiting during the Randy Orton Cody Rhodes thing. He's probably thinking, you know what, they're going to need me.
Yeah.
Ted's out of jail or not in jail, I guess. So they're going to call Ted, and then they're going to call me. And then when Logan Paul showed up, I'm sure he was just deflated, thinking, I guess we're not going to do a legacy thing. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, well, I didn't think this is helping his case either.
No. Well,
shooting on guys, smacking them around on indie shows.
And then, of course, John Cena has a announcement. I was going to look up the wording. Let me find out what the wording of John Cena's announcement. Let's see. He said it was going to be so we can try to figure out how. By the way, he's back again. I love how we're back to Cena again. Let the poor guy retire. Like, can we? Come on. Let the guy go home. I mean, I know he's got nothing to do, but for God's sakes,
I feel like they need him. They feel like they need him.
How sad is that? He will. I would say his announcement will shock the foundation of WWE.
Yeah,
sure. I'm sure it will.
I just, I feel like whatever value he has, they're going to burn through it, though.
Of course,
if he's on every fucking show, then it's not going to mean anything, obviously. But they just bring him in for every fucking show. I don't know. They don't believe in they. It also tells you that the ESPN numbers, again, that could be another red flag, right? They feel like they need Cena on all these things. Did you watch that Manu tape?
No. It'll. Let me see if it'll.
It'll play for the audience.
Let me see if I can try to mute it. I just don't know.
It's good audio. You should just play it for you. I mean, it doesn't take long. He immediately smacks the taste out of his mouth, and the announcers are funny.
Okay. All right. You guys ready? Here we go. We're going to play Manu.
Alpha Jr. smacks independent wrestler around for acting Samoan YouTube.
Oh, my. That's Manu. Rope. Big man. Okay. Here we go.
That's Manu.
Right. Alpha Jr. smacks independent wrestler. Okay. You guys ready? It's going to play right now.
Count me down.
Let's count it down. All right.
You already played it?
I did. But I stopped. We're at 0 again. All right. 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh my God! What the? Holy shit! What the fuck? Didn't even ring the bell. Oh my God! Keep him away from me. Oh my God! Wait, what? Oh my God! Jesus, indeed!
A kick to the ribs. That's so loud. Look, guys, just
Aura. Dude, the aura's unreal.
Kid just stay.
He just beat his ass.
Get this piece of shit out of my fucking ring.
Oh.
I don't know what fucking island you think you come from, but it sure as fuck ain't the South Pacific, you piece of shit.
Oh my
This
God.
is not cosplay. You got some bad advice from some bad fucking trainers, because I don't play wrestling. I bled for this shit. My family bled for this shit for generations. I am not gonna let no bullshit Puerto Rican piece of shit.
All right, there you go. The quote that I read left out the best part. He goes, I don't know what fucking island you're from, but it ain't the island of Samoa. I was like, hell yeah, brother. Fuck. Yeah.
Man.
That kick, the slaps are like, they could just be. But then he kicks him in the ribs as hard. I mean, that sound of the kick on the ribs, I'm like, ooh, okay. Yeah, that's not. You can slap somebody really. They could have said in the back, hey, slap me real hard or whatever, but you don't kick somebody in the ribs that loud.
Now, in all seriousness, he clearly double-crossed that kid. I mean,
it's not a good thing at all, but.
I mean, he went out, he was in the back probably, setting up all the spots they were going to do. Kids probably all excited to work with him. And actually, probably, who's excited to work with Manu? Probably, probably not very excited to work. 2026.
Outlaw pro wrestling, yeah.
And then he just smacks the taste out of his mouth and beats the shit out of him and puts the boots to him. Incredible.
That's gonna add, I'm gonna we have to add that to the lineage of great like squash matches or add it to the Coco Ware Shadow, Mike Rotunda and the one I told you about not that long ago when Mike Rotunda passed away. I forget the guy's name, but always Coco Shadow is always the all time greatest.
Yeah. Coco versus the Shadow. Yeah. No, the Patriot.
Coco the Patriot. The Patriot. That's right. The Patriot. Yes.
Not Del Wilkes.
Not Del Wilkes. No.
Wilkes.
Oh, you can't do that. No. Del wouldn't have taken that, I don't
Wilkes.
think. Yeah, I don't think Del would have taken that. But
just some random Memphis guy that put on a mask and Lawler was like, I don't know, call yourself the Patriot. And that was that. So do we ever know who was under that hood? I don't think we even know.
I don't think we ever did. No idea.
We got to ask Coco.
But Coco didn't like him at all. So.
I'll let him know he was 87 in my top 100, and maybe he'll tell me who was under the hood.
Yeah.
And he was so mad at.
Dude, if we could get Coco on the show, that'd rock.
Annihilated the fucking guy. I would love to know. Yeah.
Coco was just on. I just looked up Coco Ware, and he was on the Burn Up podcast. We have to be better than the Burn Up podcast, right?
Yeah. We just don't try. We could. We just don't do it. It's.
He's only 68. Would you believe that Coco Ware is only 68 years old?
It's crazy.
He was so young, and I remember watching
forever.
I was watching some of those Tour of the Territories in like 1983 or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, Coco Ware, and he's like 21 years old or whatever. You're like, holy shit, yeah. Like guys used to just wrestle when they were like 21 and 22 and be on TV, and now it's like we don't see them until they're 30.
Yeah, he was great.
Coco's.
I love Coco. Coco's awesome. All right, we done with Backlash?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Another
don't wait
tremendous
up for the
WWE
Insurrection Live, by the way. I don't think that's happening.
No?
Nah.
What day is it?
Saturday.
Washing my hair.
Yeah. It's
Actually,
Mother's Day.
Saturday, legit. Yeah.
First Mother's Day for the nurse. I'm not going to do an Insurrection Live.
Yeah, but that's
Backlash.
Sunday.
That is Sunday. Yeah, maybe.
That's Sunday.
Maybe. If I could guarantee the amount of subscribers that we could get, I would do it. But we don't get that many for WWE stuff.
We lose subscribers.
Yeah, we do.
For WWE. Remember that one show we did? We lost subscribers.
Yes.
We're like, we're gonna do Instant Reaction Live for Fully Loaded, and then like we were down three. We down 3 subscribers.
Right.
People were like, "Fuck this."
Backlash. Anyway, all right. Oh, here, real quick. A little bit of news, and then we'll get to Dontaku and Champion Carnival. TNA moving Slammiversary to avoid Forbidden Door. So TNA moved the start time of Slammiversary, which is on June 28th in Boston, Massachusetts. Tickets to the show now say 3 p.m. Eastern. So show probably will start at 4 Eastern. Originally, they were going to be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. But that is going to be when Forbidden Door is happening, scheduled for the same day, starting at what was supposed to be the same time as Slammiversary, but Slammiversary is now moved. And before anybody asks, TNA had the day and location for Slammiversary a week before AEW announced it. So it's not TNA. TNA didn't jump on the day, and then, AEW had the day, or TNA had the day first, and then AEW jumped on it afterwards. Now, did AEW notice that TNA Slammiversary was on that day? Who can say? But there you go. So they've decided instead of going head-to-head with Forbidden Door, they're going to go earlier. So you got a big wrestling day there on June 28th, Joe. You can watch Slammiversary before you watch Forbidden Door. So I will not, but you can do it. So.
Well, did you see old Carlos Silva gave up the ghost and admitted that he pulled those matches because he feels like AEW was infringing on their territory when WBD moved that show to a Thursday. You saw that, right?
Okay. I bet this too. You think this got him a little annoyed as well?
Well, he also claimed that AEW is blocking them from buildings, which was interesting. I don't know if there's any validity to that, but he claimed that was part of his claim.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's like, when you start coming onto our night and blocking us from buildings, we got to protect ourselves. So I don't know. Can't say one way or the other whether AEW is blocking buildings for TNA. I can say that Carlos is being very petty about that show being moved to a Thursday because that's not even Tony's call. That's a network call to do that. And I mean, I guess to Carlos, it's all the same.
Right.
I guess you can look at it from that standpoint. Like, it doesn't matter who's making the call, whether it's the company or wrestling company or the TV. But yeah. So he admitted it at least, though. Now we know for certain that's why they pulled that. He wouldn't have gotten any of the flack if he just would have set a new template moving forward.
Correct. That's always the big issue, is that he said that these matches could happen, and then the only people he's hurting by canceling them afterwards is himself and then the wrestlers. Whereas, he could have just sent an email after WrestleMania weekend and said, all right, moving forward.
No more. That's right.
you are not allowed to wrestle blank. Like, he could have done that very easily and everything would have been fine and nobody would have even known probably that this is the case.
Moving forward.
Yeah.
Right. That's all it would have took. But no, he did. He should have just let those 2 matches happen. And I know there was some rumors and conjecture that there was like going to be that TNA was afraid that there was going to be some big double cross of Nick Nemeth in the MJF match and some big double and that finishes were changed at the WrestleCon match, like with the Ricochet thing. And I reached out to someone at WrestleCon who would absolutely know, who just laughed that off as utterly preposterous.
In 2026 wrestling, they think that this is happening. I mean, come on.
And first of all, the idea that that MJF and Wrestle Pro and Create a Pro were going to double cross Nick Nemeth is just so stupid and preposterous. On top of the fact that Nick Nemeth is like a Division I wrestler.
I was going to say, he could kick all of their asses.
How is MJF going to shoot on him? And the thing about it is, Pat Buck is not going to do business that way. He just isn't. They're not going to do business that way. His business partner is Brian Myers, who works for TNA.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's such a all friends network. This ain't Manu versus whoever this guy is. Like, most people are they're all good buddies. Like, Nick Nemeth and MJF are good buddies. Pat Buck and Brian Myers are business partners and buddies. Like, that's just that the day of that industry being that way is over, long over. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
And you think Ricochet is like conspiring with the referee at WrestleCon? Like, hey, like Ricochet. You think Ricochet of all people is like, hey, brother, all right, here's what's going to happen. That geek's going to get in the ring, and then here's what we're going to do. It's like, what?
Yeah.
They're probably high-fiving each other. Hey, good match, man. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, your rule, man. I love you. Yeah, you know. Like, that's the conversation. It's like, come on. What are you talking about? I love Trevor Mann is talking to the referee. Like, the referee of the WrestleCon guy is like, all right, so here's what's going to happen. He's going to come out, and then, like, we're going to do at WrestleCon. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, that would matter to anybody.
Yeah. So if he just would have just not allowed matches moving forward, no one would have even known. It might not even have gotten reported until like a later time, you know, like when people picked up on it or whatever. But yeah, pulling the matches was just, you know, now and you know, to his credit, he said, look, I don't mind being the bad guy. That's fine.
Yeah. Good for him.
All right, well, that's okay. That's fine. But
because you are.
Matches.
You are. So that's good. It's good that you're okay being the bad guy because you are the bad guy in this case. But yeah. Someone said in the chat room, says the Dennis Corleuzza of TNA, but he really isn't, though, because Dennis Corleuzza had to be. The thing with Dennis is he was publicly humiliated constantly on the air. And that's really the difference between Carlos and Carlos is slightly more self-aware than Dennis Corleuzza and also has not been like publicly humiliated on the air all that often.
Yeah.
Dennis is a different animal.
Entirely.
Dennis is a different. Yeah.
It's kind of a rough comp, to be honest.
Yeah. Nobody is the Dennis Corleuzza of anybody because Dennis is the Dennis of like here the energy of Dennis Corleuzza is, and we talked about this in remember we had a long discussion about Dennis on our flagship Patreon, our TNA, the NWA title in the 90s deep dive that we did many, many years ago, that Dennis got fucked over. And then they said, well, can you come on the air and talk about it? And then he did. Like, he got fucked over.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, yeah, hopefully we can come to some sort of agreement. Shane Douglas is indeed the NWA champion. It's like, brother. They fucked you over. First off, they fucked you over by saying, hey, make Shane Douglas the champion, not Chris Benoit. And he went, okay, that sounds good. Yeah, no problem. That sounds all right. And then they fucked you over and he just throws your title down. They say, hey, go on the air. Talk about it. He goes, all right, sure, yeah. Hopefully Shane Douglas will come to my territory and defend the NWA title. No, Dennis, brother. It's not happening.
Well, then he then claimed later that he knew, but was just what a lot of people don't know, or what kind of got lost to history, or I talked about it on Jovember, was Eddie Gilbert at one point offered to do the angle again on an NWA show in New Jersey. And the idea was no, because there's no one's going to see it. You know what I mean? It's not going to be on TV. It's not going to be taped. And
that business is gone. That business is long gone and is not coming back.
It's not a fair comp.
Yeah.
Carlos Silva, Dennis Corleuzza, not fair comp.
And then Eddie, the fucking shark who smells blood, is like, hey, Dennis.
Yeah.
I got an idea for you, pal. Yeah. Even Dennis was smart enough to go, you know what? No, I'm good.
No, Dennis.
Dennis was in?
No, Dennis didn't know.
Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, he was going to do it again, too. Oh, I see. That's
right.
He
was going to double cross him.
He was going to double cross Dennis again.
On behalf for EC, and then come back to ECW.
Oh, I see. Because they were going to say, like, no, this time he's going to defend the NWA title against Eddie Gilbert. And then, okay.
I don't remember the super particulars, like who was, like if he's going to win the title and then throw it down again. He was going to, somehow, Eddie Gilbert was going to throw the title down again, is the point.
Yeah.
And Todd Gordon was like, I don't know. He was like,
we've done enough to the guy. It's not going to be filmed. Who cares?
Leave him alone.
Yeah. So I see Eddie smelled blood and said, I can get this guy again for you guys. And they were like, we're good.
And remember, it would have been like, because Gilbert died in like February of 95. And the double cross was in August of 94.
Yeah.
So he didn't even wait like very long. Like he wanted to do it like a month later or something. Because there's not a lot of time in between the double cross and Gilbert dying. But that was he pitched that to Todd Gordon to do it again. That would have been hilarious.
That would have been so good. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Let's talk about the Carnival. The New Japan bored me, so I want to talk about the Carnival because the Carnival didn't bore me.
You want to do these can I sneak in these Fire Festival blocks real quick?
Absolutely. Yeah, because they're pretty fun. Yeah, let's talk about it.
All right. So we knew the participants, but here's the blocks. Block A, Junior Matsunaga, the champ, and Masato Tanaka, Suji Ishikawa, the original big dog, Kuma Arashi, and then the guy's kid, Runosuke Nagai, who actually, I think, did he debut on the 0-1 show? It was his first or second match that we saw on the 0-1 show. So that's the A block. So you got the champ in there with Masato Tanaka. That's the big match that everybody's going to be looking at, obviously. And then also the Suji Ishikawa Masato Tanaka rematch. Tanaka won the first match.
Yeah. Okay.
One more guy. Kurashio, Tokyo, Japan.
Man. Well,
jacket man. All right. B block. Hayabusa, Chris Weiss, Katsuhiko Nakajima, Daishi Hashimoto, Koji Doi, and Sumutaka Sato.
Oh, man, that B block rocks.
It's a nice block. You got the Nakajima-Hayabusa rematch. So we'll see if Hayabusa gets his win back. Probably not, because they just beat that guy like a drum and knock all the markability out of him. Daishi Hashimoto, Baby Hash in there with Nakajima, Hayabusa, Chris Weiss.
I like it.
It's a nice block. And remember, this shit's going to make tape this year. It's going to make that dopey app. So this is the year where you're going to get more than like one Fire Festival show on tape. So there you go. So hard to predict what they're going to do here, but we'll see if Nakajima burns through the B block and they set up maybe a title match down the line with Nakajima versus Matsunaga at some point. And we know that Hayabusa is going to be on that Nakajima Produce show. We already know that. We don't know what capacity. But, B block's got Nakajima versus Hayabusa, Nakajima versus Baby Hash versus Hayabusa.
I like that entire B block, honestly. Every single match in that B block sounds good to me.
Yeah, Koji Doi, Sato, a good veteran. The B block is a really good block. Now, Stupid Jiro kind of kills the A block because you don't want to watch him really wrestle anyway.
Yeah, you could just does the base Neo, does that have a 30-second skip on it, or it's every match, right?
So every match. You could just skip the whole match.
Yeah, you could probably because I was gonna say you could just skip the entrance, but honestly, just skip the whole match. Are you really Jones into? But I guess if you're a completist, does it have a 30-second skip so you can get through the Jiro entrance? That's going to happen every single time.
Yeah. I don't remember. I just cast it to the TV and let it go. I don't know. So obviously Matsunaga versus Tanaka is a big match. It's definitely the slimmer block because Suji Ishikawa, it's a fun name, but he can't really go anymore.
Nah.
He had a decent match with Tanaka the first time, but we all know his limitations. Kuma Arashi could have good matches with these guys, but it's really held down by Jiro and the rookie. Because the rookie's not that good yet. And, Jiro is Jiro. So, yeah, B block is the stronger block for sure. There's honestly not a single match in the B block
that's what I'm saying.
Fun.
Yeah, every single combination, I'm looking at it now. I can't find a combo that I'm not at least, am I super excited about Chris Weiss? Actually, I am. You know what? No, fuck it. I am. Every single match. Yeah, I'm in every match I'm in. I was trying to see if there was one I could make where I'm not that sounds pretty good. But no, I'm into every single one.
Are you back in on Baby Hash like I am?
I think so. I've seen him a couple times lately, and I think now that we're just so far removed from any expectations of him that now it's actually kind of fun to watch him. And he's gotten, I think he's improved a little bit as well. I mean, he's still, early 30s? Still, it feels like we've been talking about the guy for 20 years, but he's still, 33 years old, 34 years old, somewhere in that range, I think.
I mean, I know it's it's dumb to say because they're not full-time, but I wish he was here full-time instead of Big Japan.
Yeah. He fits better.
Fit.
Yeah, he fits better.
Better fit. The family, obviously, the obvious connection there, and it freshens him up, and no one's paying any attention to Big Japan, nor should they. I mean, they've lost everybody else. All their other guys are freelancers now, whether it's Sakamoto, Abe, the whole crew. But for some reason, he's still there. 0-1 isn't full-time money, but he's doing the Fire Fit. Look, this is the most loaded Fire Festival lineup in a long time.
Oh, yeah. They got pretty dire there for a while. I know we talked about it last year, and it's like, whew, boy, this is really slim pickings.
This is like a legitimately good lineup tournament. It's like, it's pretty good. That B block especially is really good. Anyway, that's the Fire Festival. When the fuck does that start? Let me see. Let's see if I can find that.
So these will all be on the base Neo, is your understanding?
I assume so. Every show has been on the app.
Okay.
Like, they put everything on the app now. So, I mean, I can't, guarantee it, but... Oh, look, they got a new show up. They got the 5-2 show just went up today. Well, we're going to have some content behind the paywall pretty soon here.
June 13th. June 13th is the beginning of the Fire Festival, and it ends August 7th in Korakuen Hall. So we used to get the finals. We would get that Korakuen Hall show would show up on Samurai TV or whatever, but it'll be cool to watch all of it.
Yeah, and maybe a random night we'd get to.
Yeah.
0-1. Hold on a second. I want to see who was... So, this 5-2 show just popped on the... I'm glad I looked. All right, I will be reviewing this as soon as I get it washed. They're washing money, not me. Hide Kubota versus Brian Ishizaka. Yasu Kubota versus Sugata Sato. And then we've got Chris Weiss and Renosuke Nagai versus Daishi Hashimoto and Koji Doi. That looks fun. Takuya Sugawara versus Leona. Ready for some Leona? I'll send you that match, Rich.
I don't need that. Yeah, you know who's not good? I think Daishi Hashimoto, as far as fail sons go, has definitely improved. Man, Leona, I remember watching him a couple weeks ago on whatever show we watched, and I was like, holy fuck, he's just terrible. He's so bad.
This was from Chiba, by the way. First international lightweight tag team title defense for Van Vert Jack and Yuki Toki. You want to know who they're going up against here? Fuminari Abe and the Great Sasuke.
Oh, wow. Okay.
How about that?
That sounds awesome.
And then your main event is Hayabusa and Masato Tanaka against Junya Matsunaga and Katsuhiko Nakajima.
Yeah, all right. That's a hell of a show.
Yeah, that 5-2 show is a hell of a show.
That's a good little show. Those openers, you could skip the openers if you really wanted to, but...
listen, you're going to blow off the Kubota brothers. All right, fair.
No,
That's fair.
I like them. They're good workers. I like them. They're good workers. What's the Leona match? I might skip that one. Who was he against?
Takuya Sugawara versus Leona.
Yeah, that one I might.
Blowing off Leona?
I might blow that one off.
I can't kill you for that. Oh, man, I'm excited. I got something to watch.
I watched a lot of House of Torture this week, and I don't know if I need Leona in my life, so...
All right, so that's a little 0-1. All right, now the Carnival?
Yeah, let's do the Carnival. Yeah, New Japan's boring. So let's talk about the Champion Carnival. So they wrapped up block play May 5th in Korakuen Hall. You've covered all of the Champion Carnival so far, flagshippatreon.com. So if you want to catch up on everything that's been going on in the Champion Carnival, flagshippatreon.com is your place. But we decided to watch this show because it was the end of the block play, and then we will, of course, watch the finals. But don't get too excited because the finals are in, August or something. Why is it so long between the...
May 17th.
May 17th, okay. Well, I may have exaggerated a little bit, but it is kind of far.
12 days. 12-day gap.
It's a relatively large gap between the... final night of block play and the semifinals or whatever. But there you go. So do you want me to say who's already in the semifinals, or do you want to kind of go over the show and reveal it as it happens?
No, well, I mean, it's old news now. We'll talk about it. So what I thought was funny was how many times have we come on here when we talk about the G1 or the Champion Carnival or the Global League? Global League. What year is it? What's the
N1, N-1. Yeah. Global in 2008. 2008 Joe Lanza excited about the Global
Too
League.
Cold Scorpio getting ready for the Global League.
Bull Buchanan and Too Cold Scorpio. It's his year, I'm telling you.
Fuck. But every time we talk about these tournaments, we're like, we know they're not going to do these four-way ties, so just we know how these matches are going to go, and because they never do that. And then finally, we have some bookers who have the guts to say, you know what, fuck you. We're not going to do just one four-way tie. We're going to do a four-way tie in both blocks, motherfucker, and none of you are going to see this coming. And my God, was it refreshing and good to see that and to watch it play out, because this was one of the first block final nights of a tournament in a long time where it wasn't just the chalk finishes that you can predict by simply figuring out, okay, they're not going to do the logjam tie. They did the fucking
Fuck you. They're going to do the logjam tie. How are they going to solve it? A bunch of guys are going to get in the ring and pick up pieces of paper. It's how they're going to solve it. So.
Right. To determine their tiebreaker opponents. And then in the other block, we're just going to say, fuck that. We're putting a guy through on a tiebreaker. Like 2 different methods, which doesn't make any sense. So anyway, let's unwind all this. So in the A block, they went with the 4-way tie with 8 points. And it worked out great because, so Rai Saito, he gets the forfeit win over Yuma Anzai like we all figured because Anzai got hurt. And remember, the only reason they did all these wacky ties is because 2 major stars got hurt in each block. Yuma Anzai got hurt in the A block, and Jun Saito got hurt in the B block. Now, the Yuma Anzai injury, some people are side-eyeing. Maybe we're getting worked. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, though, because, whether we're getting worked or not, he was out due to quote-unquote injury, and that's all that matters. But we all figured that at that point, Miyahara, who had 7 coming in, would beat Kengo Mishimo and advance through with 9, and then they'd have to figure out ways to either do some double countouts or draws in the other 2 matches where everybody had 6 to prevent them to getting to 8, or just have 1 runoff match, right? Do 1 draw or 1 double countout, and then have one of the guys with 6 points win, and then face Rai Saito to see which one of those guys would join Kento in the semifinals. But they threw an absolute fucking curveball at us when they had, am I looking at the right day here? Yeah, 5-5, right?
Yep.
So what they did, what block? This is the A block.
A block.
So A block, which happened on the back end of the show. So we're starting with, that happened at the front end of the show.
Front, beginning of the show, yeah.
So Talos beats Kuma Arashi and goes to 8. And I'm thinking, all right, well, that makes sense because Go Shiozaki and Odyssey, they're in the same unit. They could have like the double count out or whatever and eliminate each other.
Well, even then, even if Go Shiozaki got the win, he would go to 8, but then Kento's going to beat Kengo Mishimo and he's going to have 9, so he'll go through.
Right, but then you'd have 3 guys with 8. See, I was thinking they would have 2 guys with 8, so they could just have one runoff match.
Yeah.
So then Go beats Odyssey, but then the big curveball here that no one saw coming was Kengo Mishimo upsetting Kento Miyahara in a hell of a match.
Oh, the match rocked. Yeah, I want to talk about this match. So now, has Kento selling his arm been a thing all Carnival? Because I haven't watched a lot of this Carnival. Or was that just a thing? Because that was like a self-contained story within this match. Because it fucking rocked. So Kengo Mishimo is just working over Kento Miyahara's arm the entire match. He's just working it. And then Kento Miyahara goes for goes for his German suplex or whatever. He can't get the arm across. He can't get any power in his arm. He looks at his arm and he's like, God damn it, my arm hurts so much. And Kengo Mishimo is just like, I got my opening. And he just fucking rolls his ass up, puts him in an arm bar, and the crowd is coming unglued. They're like, oh my God. And then guess what? The arm worked because Kento Miyahara is just like, nah, I'm done, man. I tap out. And the crowd was unglued.
People were stunned.
Right.
Because not only did he lose, he gets knocked out. He finishes second to last in the block because everyone else has 8. There's a million guys with 8 points. Well, I guess he finished ahead of Odyssey and Kuma Arashi too, but he finished like third to last or whatever. So that's the big stunner. And then we have this 4-way tie with Rai Saito, Talos, Go Shiozaki, and Kengo Mishimo, all with 8 points at the top of the block. And so Talos, he beats Kuma Arashi with the Ride the Lightning Daddy. That's the best name for a finisher in 2026. The Ride the Lightning Daddy, Daddy. And then Go versus Odyssey. Go is doing this thing that he does in every tournament that he's in. He starts off, he has the best match. He has 2 best matches in the tournament the first 2 nights, right? But then as the tournament moves along, every body part on this man's body is being held together by tape.
Right.
His ribs, his shoulder. So he's selling the ribs, and he's in there with Odyssey, and Odyssey's just working over his ribs, and Go spent this entire match selling those ribs.
I enjoyed this. This was a good big man match. Like Go's good at working with guys like this. And I thought Odyssey was pretty solid.
Yeah, and Go, I mean, we know his body is legitimately broken down, but a lot of this is obviously because he does this every tournament. No matter what tournament he's in, by the end of it, he's a mummy. He's held together by tape. But he ends up picking up the win after selling the ribs the whole match. And then, Kengo Mishimo and Kento Miyahara was just, that match was awesome.
That's a must watch. You got to watch it.
And the thing about it with these Kento matches, especially this one with so much on the line, there's just this nonstop tension and buzz in the building when he's in there. It's hard to explain. Like, it wasn't a dead crowd all night, but it was a different level in this match. There's just this tension in the air. People are just buzzing. They just can't stop. They can't take their eyes off of him. And it's crazy because I think if he was in a bigger promotion, it would translate and he would be a bigger draw. But it's like he just has this you can't just charisma that nobody else in that company has, and they can't seem to find it in anyone else. And this match was a perfect example of that. And Mishimo escaped when he had him in the straitjacket German position and had him up in the air. That's the most tension-filled spot in all of wrestling, when he has a guy up in that, and you don't know whether he's going to put him over or not and hit the move, because you know if he hits it, it's over. No one's kicking out of that. And he's holding him up in the air, and time stands still, and time is frozen, and the women are just screaming at the top of their lungs. Everyone's like, oh, is he going to get him over or not? And Mishimo gets out of it, and then he gets him back in that armbar. And the way Kento's just flailing around and trying not to tap, and he does. And then everybody realizes, holy shit, he's out. That's it. He's out. We all thought he's going to cruise through. But no, he's eliminated.
Yes, and then the ring announcer has to then describe. Obviously, we don't know what's going on because we don't speak Japanese or whatever. But the ring announcer's talking for like 5 minutes straight. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, oh, right, it's a four-way tie.
Four-way tie.
Right, so he's trying to explain it. And Kengo Mishimo's in the ring like, oh, I don't know. That doesn't make sense, but I guess it makes, yeah, all right. Like, you know, like, it was so cool because, it's always so basic. And like you said, the easy booking thing would have been Go Shiozaki and Odyssey have a double count out or whatever, and Kento just beats Kengo Mishimo, and you go through, it's maybe it's not what we wanted, but it'll work out anyway. It's fine. But no, they decided, fuck it, that'll be fun. Let's do a four-way tie in one of these things. Yeah,
and then how they solved it was they had the four guys come out with a referee, and they basically just drew envelopes.
Yep.
And inside the envelopes was a number. You either had the number 1 or you had the number 2. And if you drew the number 1, you were in the first decision match for first place. And then if you drew the number 2, you were in the decision match for second place. So it ended up being Rai Saito and Kengo Mishimo and Go Shiozaki versus Talos. And they kept those matches short. And Saito defeats Kengo Mishimo, very short match. But Go Shiozaki versus Talos, I thought, was the more interesting of the two bouts. And Go, once again, with his taped-up body, overcomes the 7-foot monster. And in my look, I've done audio on every show. I am now a non-ironic fan of Talos. I think he's improved so much.
He's great. We talked about it a little bit. I think we didn't go super hard. I know you went harder in your audio, but if you remember that Kento Miyahara match, you and I had a discussion. We're like, that was a pretty good match. Like, it was different.
Yeah, like,
it was slower and it was different. It was more methodical. But I remember my talking point was, I don't know who taught this guy how to be a big man, but he did not learn how to become a big man in a WWE developmental, because he doesn't work like a WWE big man. He works like an old territory big man. And there's a big difference, and it's noticeable. And he's getting better. Like, him going over to Japan, like, I can see it already just in a month or two's time. Like, because this Go versus Talos match was great. And it's like I said, Go is really good at working with really big guys too. He especially because he's just, like you said, he's always taped up and he's just like writhing in pain, and every movement is killing him, and everything you do to him is killing him, and he's trying to lift you up and he can't because his body's all put. But like, that's a great match style that just will always work. Like the big man versus the smaller guy. In this case, Go Shiozaki, not exactly a small man, but Talos is a massive man. So no, he's a really, really good big man. And in a game where not a lot of people wrestle like big men anymore, he is one of the rarities who does it and does it really, really well.
Yeah, and look, they don't put him out there for 20 minutes, and nor should they. He's not going to fill up your notebook, but he has smart matches and works like a big man. And I'm happy Go went through. You know, Go started off great. He had the two best matches in the tournament, and then he just kind of got upset a bunch in the middle, and I'm like, they're going to keep making him pay his dues. Because, when guys jump, they make them pay their dues for a while a lot of the time, and they won't just give them the big push. But he's at minimum going to the semifinals of this thing, because he went through here on the tiebreaker, and he will face the second-place finisher in the B block. So B block, they opened up with Zion and Yuma Aoyagi, and that was the most predictable finish because Aoyagi came in with 7. Zion was already out of it. So that was your typical upset to knock a guy out early on in the night. So Zion wins, as we all figured he would. Because remember, Yuma Aoyagi was only in this thing because Cyrus has disappeared off the planet. Because Aoyagi was
didn't get on the plane.
Yeah, Aoyagi was still suspended for the fucking getting the traffic ticket or whatever. Which, okay, different culture. Man, they're pretty rough over there. But he wasn't even supposed to be in the tournament, so you had to figure, even with the injuries and everything, that he wasn't going to advance, and they didn't advance him. So next up was Ryuki Honda and Daisuke Sekimoto, and coming into this thing, Sekimoto and Ayabe both had 8 coming into the night, and it was actually very simple. Hideki Suzuki had 9, but he had off because he had the forfeit on this night because his opponent was Jun Saito. So Hideki Suzuki was through. Unless Sekimoto and Ayabe won, because then they would both have 10, right? So Sekimoto and Ayabe both controlled their own destiny. If they won, they were advancing either way. It was just a matter of whether they advanced with Hideki Suzuki or they advanced with the other guy, right? Because they would either both have 10 or one would have 10 and Suzuki would have 9. So I thought they would go more the conventional route in Block B because it was very simple the way it was laid out, but they didn't. Ryuki Honda upsets Daisuke Sekimoto, and my notes literally say, okay, conventional finishes, because now Ren Ayabe is just going to beat Madoka Kakuta and go through with Hideki Suzuki. Easy peasy, no problem.
Push their young guy. That's a perfectly justified guy to be pushed and go through. So, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Outsider. You're going to have an outsider from Dragon Gate.
He beats the outsider. And then they fucking did it again, and Kakuta upsets Ayabe.
Yep.
And now we got a 47-way tie with 8 points, with Hideki Suzuki going through with 9, first place in the block. And then we have the 4-way tie. Ryuki Honda, Daisuke Sekimoto, Madoka Kakuta, and Ren Ayabe, all with 8. And I was like, these motherfuckers gave us 2 ties, 4-way ties on the final night. But then, instead of doing a 4-way match or a little mini tournament, they decide to use the head-to-head tiebreaker in the B block. It's like no consistency. So Kakuta goes through because he had head-to-head wins against the other 3 guys. He beat all 3 of them. He beat Ayabe on the final night, and he beat Honda and Sekimoto earlier in the tournament. So because he was 3-0 against the other 3 guys, they didn't bother with any kind of tiebreakers like they did in the A block, because after the smoke had cleared on the decision matches, I didn't know what they were doing. There's no English commentary, so I didn't know what was going on with the B block. But then Kakuta came out. He came out to get in Go Shiozaki's face because they're going to be in the semifinal match.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, they just put him through? What the fuck? How do you do no tiebreakers in the first block?
Envelopes, pick an envelope, decision matches. Yeah, and then you do.
So this is what happens when 2 guys get hurt and they just don't know what the fuck to do, right? That's really what it comes down to. So, but it was fun, though. You got to look at it this way. They lost 2 guys to injury, so they were down 2 matches on the night, right? Because you had the 2 forfeits. So they creatively added 2 more matches to the show by doing the decision matches, and that's like a light bulb moment. We all should have saw that coming, because this way they give the fans, a full card with the number of allotted matches that they thought they were going to get. So what'd you think of all this? I thought this was creative and a good way to wiggle around the injuries.
Yeah, it was fun. No, it was a good way to do it, and I appreciate that it wasn't the very, like, I would hate, and there's sometimes G1s do this sometimes because they're so careful about it, where you get the double count outs or you get the the weird, you're like, all right, yeah, it's like, I get why you did that, and I understand, but it doesn't feel as organic as, sometimes there might just be a fucking weird tie. Like, sometimes we had an injury and the people are deadlocked and there's no real tiebreakers, so let's settle it some other way. Let's settle it in the ring or whatever. So I appreciate that. That was really good. And yeah, it was, you have the little ceremony where the guys are in the ring and they're picking out their envelopes, but you can do some fun little stuff in that. Like, you have Go Shiozaki staring down, Talos. You have Talos staring down Go Shiozaki, and like,
they had Talos jump the line and grab his envelope before Go. Did you notice that?
Yeah. And then Go, he looks at Go and he's like, "You want to do something about it?" And Go's like, I guess not. No, you can have it.
All right, take your envelope, big man. No problem. Yeah, you can take it.
What was funny is the guy entering the ring dropped all the envelopes and all the fans went, ha, 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 which I found very funny. Yeah. He had him on like a pillow because it's very official. It was like this big, giant plush pillow with these envelopes on it. And as he was getting in the ring, the pillow fell and the envelopes all fell down. But he picked it up.
The thing is with All Japan and the Carnival, they never do. There are no tiebreakers because they've had decision matches in the past between two guys. So for them to do the 2 decision matches was traditionally how they handle it. They don't do head-to-head tiebreaker in the Carnival. Any of their tournaments, they don't do head-to-head tiebreaker. So for them to do the tiebreaker in the other block because he beat the other 3 guys, I feel like that was just, we can't have this card go all night. There's no other way to book ourselves out of this.
Yeah.
We're just going to randomly do a tiebreaker.
Right. We're going to give you 2 extra matches. They're both going to go, 4 and 8 minutes or whatever, but we have to get out of here. We can't have 4 more matches or whatever. So, yeah.
Because I always forget that they don't have the head-to-head like G1 has. They just have, if you're tied, you have to have a match. But this year, they're like...
Except this time.
Everything got so fucked up. Fuck this. We're just putting the guy through, and they put the guy through. So... that leaves us with Go Shiozaki versus Madoko Kakuta, who is also the Open to Dreamgate champion, by the way. And that leaves us with Rai Saito versus Hideki Suzuki.
Yeah, I'm out on the Saitos, both of them. I'm done. I think I'm Saito'd out.
A lot of people are. You're not alone.
They had a fun little run, and they were fine for a while, but I'm out. Yeah, Rai is just terrible.
Yeah, they feel like, though, that they need them to draw.
Yeah.
They headlined all those Korikens last year with them, either in tags or Jun Saito Triple Crowns. They feel like they need them to draw, so they're not going anywhere. Even here, they had Jun come out because he was doing commentary, but he was the first. His music hit before anybody else's, and he grabbed the mic and gave a little speech before the show started. So this drew 1377. Look, we know the state that Japan is in. You would hope that, Giant Baba rolling over in his grave at Champion Carnivals finals being held in Korakuen Hall and drawing 1,300 fans. For modern All Japan, the number's fine.
It's fine.
You'd like to see him fill it, but it's just not going to happen. So there you go. It's I hope they really do something with Go here. I'd like to see him. Now, listen, Hideki Suzuki was great in the tournament. He really was great the whole way. But I think you bring a Go Shiozaki in, at some point you got to push him. I mean, and again, he has fresh Triple Crown matches with everybody if you want to go down that road. All these other guys have been exchanging the title and facing each other 1,000,000 times each. You put the title on Go, it's something a little different.
Yeah, I agree. So, I think it's time.
I think it's time to push him. And he had incredible matches. I'm talking incredible. The 2 best matches in All Japan this year were Go Shiozaki versus Yuma Anzai and Go Shiozaki versus Kento Miyahara on the first 2 nights of this tournament. And then Anzai and Miyahara had a great match like the 3rd night or whatever night that was. And those were the 3 best matches in the tournament until Kento Miyahara versus Kengo Mishima, which was another great match on the final night. And I enjoyed the whole tournament. It didn't, you had 5 or 6 notebook matches for sure, and 3 of them right there, boom, 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 the first 3 nights, which were high-end matches, 4.5 or better. But the rest of it were, they were just well-booked and well-worked matches for based on who was involved in the bouts.
I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the show a lot. And there was...
It was a reflection of the tour, really.
Good,
honestly.
good. Yeah, I'm glad that they seem to be in a better place than they were last year because it really there was a while they were All Japan was a total drag, and it sucked because I really enjoyed when we were watching and covering every a major All Japan show a couple years ago, and I really gotten into the promotion. Then little by little, it just started sucking, and it was just like, what is going on with this promotion? It's just all this bullshit and popping light, and just it was really really crummy. But it feels like. Because it feels like they brought in, like, you laugh at some of the guys. You laugh at Zion and Odyssey and Talos or whatever, but they're all like, Talos is good. Like, Odyssey plays his role well. Zion. But then, it doesn't feel as as shit. There's something about it. I don't know. It just doesn't feel as shitty as it did a couple years ago. Daisuke Sakamoto's been a nice addition, even though he's not what he used to be. He's still a decent enough worker. Like you said, Hideki Suzuki has kind of turned things around, and it seems like he's got his head on straight. So I don't know. There's just enough going on, and having Yuma Anzai back too is probably a big thing too. He was gone last year, filming whatever, The Bachelor or whatever the fuck.
And unfortunately, if it's a real injury, he might be gone for a while again. But
hopefully it's not, because you could see the noticeable difference with him in the company too, because you're like, there's another high end worker that's there. And then Go Shiozaki's back too. So I think they basically have added 2 main eventers back that they didn't have for a lot of last year, and obviously Go Shiozaki didn't have for several years, so that certainly helps. And I just think, the other guys that have been building underneath have all been, actually pretty solid. So, and Havoc isn't exactly like we were a little worried that Havoc was going to be a black shirt heel gang, and that's really not what they are. They're dudes.
No,
that are together.
They're almost baby faces at this point.
Yeah,
they're it's They've kind of refined the act and found themselves, and they're not. They look like your typical black shirt heels, but they don't behave that way necessarily. It's I didn't know if I was gonna tap out on the tournament if it sucked. Last year's was a little rough, but it not only held my attention all the way through. I was genuinely looking forward to the shows, and I'll tell you another thing. It was very well paced, because you'd have 2 shows on the weekend. They'd take a bunch of days off, maybe do one midweek, and then 2 shows on the weekend. So it never felt like a slog. It felt like you had just the right amount of time off before you were ready for it again. Like, when's the next Carnival show? It's been a few days. I'm looking forward to whatever match. So it was very well paced from that standpoint. And I think it also helps that the blocks are a little small. The G1 blocks are bloated as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got 10 guys in the block, and you got to get through, 9 matches or whatever. So even just removing, 1 guy sometimes in this Fire Festival with 6 guys in each block, it's not going to feel as bloated, so there's that too. And it just really felt like a breeze, which is ironic because we got to wait almost 2 weeks to get to the final now. But it felt well-paced and breezy and easy to watch, and it helped that all the shows were reasonably good. They hit a little bit of a lull right before the final night. Those last 2 shows, that final weekend wasn't that great, but it had enough stock with me at that point that I genuinely enjoyed it all the way through. And then there wasn't one wrestler in this tournament who at some point I didn't enjoy watching them. And that's definitely not always the case.
No, you got to. Oh God, no! Jesus Christ!
You get a bunch of skippable guys where you're like, I don't want to watch this motherfucker wrestle again for a year.
Yeah. This G1 might be easy for me to cover because there's about 9 guys on this roster that I got no fucking time for anymore. And they're going to probably be heavily featured all across the G1. Should we get to New Japan?
Yeah.
I'm down on New Japan again, man. I don't know. I thought these shows stunk for the most part. There was a couple good matches that we'll talk about, but it's just so bogged down by House of Torture again, and just so bogged down by it's just too much. It's just too much. I don't know what you want me to tell you about New Japan anymore. It's just I'm watching these matches and they're just they're washing over me, and referee's down. Here comes the clown car. Like literally they call it the clown, And I'm just like, the fuck are we doing here, man? It's just it's a lot. So and then you have United Empire, and they're interfering about. So I'm like, oh God, Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
they're doing it too. Yeah,
how many? Come on, can I just have a match between 2 people? Like, is that so fucking hard to ask for? But
I don't think it's the right path to take with Callum Newman. I think he should just beat some people. Are we trying to make a guy, or are we not trying to make a guy? It's Shingo Takagi. He's almost 50.
Yeah, you guys are never going to push him again.
Pushing him again.
Which is, by the way, I don't know if your take after this match. I watched this match, and my take is usually when I watch Shingo matches, this guy's one of the best wrestlers in the world. My take after this match was maybe Shingo should be the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. He rocks. Like, the crowd loves him. He's really good. I'm like, why not Shingo? But anyway, it's never going to be Shingo again.
Because when they finally flip the switch off with a guy, they never flip it on again.
I know.
That's it. He's done. This might be his last title match. So it's just the run-in stuff in the middle of the match was wholly unnecessary because they went another 18 minutes after the first run-in. And I'm enjoying the match up to that point, but I'm like, it's like you just said, it's a lot when every other match is House of Torture run-ins, and then you have to deal with it here too with the United Empire. And then, he hits the Excalibur. He hits the Made in Essex because he has to do the Made in Japan with his own spin on it. And he hits the Prince's Curse, and all of them just get near falls. And then this is all after the run. And then it just goes on and on because then Shingo's hitting the Made in Japan, and he hits a pumping bomber, all for near falls, and it's like, then we do another ref interference spot. So Callum Newman could punch him in the dick or whatever, and then hit his finish and beat him. And it's like, I don't know what these kinds of finishes are doing for Callum Newman now. I would think you're trying to make a guy, and my point when I brought up Shingo being out of the mix, Shingo's a guy he shouldn't have to cheat to beat.
No, just beat Shingo in 18 minutes. Shingo. Hit the fucking Made in Essex. Hit the fucking, what was the last, his other one? I forget the name of it.
Whatever you call it. Prince's Curse or something.
Yeah, and just fucking pin the guy. Just beat 18 minutes. It's Shingo. Who cares?
You're not protecting Shingo or maybe they are building a rematch, but they're not, though. We know that they're not, is the point.
Right, and I people are going to say, well, they're doing it to further the story with Will and Callum, but they did it in the post match too. So you could do the exact same match. It could be 18 minutes. Callum and Newman could just beat Shingo Takagi because why can he not just beat? He can just beat Shingo Takagi. He doesn't need to go 35 minutes with Shingo with two different long stretched out interference spots, and then after the match, have United Empire hold up Shingo and Callum Newman tell Will hit him. Just like he did. You could have the exact same angle, and it works just fine. It makes it even more impactful because it's like, wow, that guy just beat the shit out of Shingo. Wow, that guy is really the leader. That guy really is the new, business here in United Empire.
You might be thinking, wow, can Will beat this guy?
Right.
Yeah, it's just
fuck.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a lot because everything else is House of Torture.
Right, and again, if you must, we have to have a main event where United Empire must interfere. Great. Then tell everybody else no interference the rest of the show. Let's make that interference impactful. Yet this was like the 5th interference match on the
brother. We couldn't even do Takeshita Chase Owens without the run-in train.
Without the clunk car, I know.
We can't even just beat Chase Owens? I mean, come on.
It sucks.
It really does suck.
It's shit. It's just shit. I don't know what to tell you.
When the junior tag title match came, and it was Despy and Mystico versus
your guys, the Ichiban Sweet Boys.
I always want to say Birds of Prey, but unfortunately it's the Ichiban Sweet Boys. I was just so relieved to get a wrestling match. Was that your feeling watching that?
Yeah, that was a great match too. That's fun. Yeah.
It's like
I know that I'm free of anything. It wasn't heavy. It was just like, oh wait, a professional wrestling match, and at some point a tag team will defeat another team. And then they did.
And they did. And they had a 3.5-star match. And we got a big upset. The crowd gasped at the upset. And I was like, all right, great. Because the night before, which we're going to get to, and then we can't even get, we got to run in. We can't just have Konosuke Takeshita squash Chase Owens or just beat him. We can't just do that. No, we have to have the fucking, like you said, the clown car show up. And we even have to do it in that match. It's fucking crazy. It really is. The state of this company. Just when you think things are looking up, and I don't know, man. United Empire wins the never openweight 6-man titles. That match was fine too.
It was fine. I thought I was going to like it a lot more, but I didn't really love it that much. I thought Will and Oleg Boltin, their interactions were really good. I thought Hanare and Oleg Boltin, their interactions were really good. Will and Goto, Will and Yoshihashi. It seems like this Will Ospreay guy is probably a pretty good worker. Great O'Khan, I don't know what, he just fucking stinks now, so I don't know what's going on with him. But I don't know. I wanted to like the match, but I ended up just thinking it was just okay.
I have one insightful observation. And regarding Will Ospreay, the New Japan fans have taken to him, and they're excited to see him all the time and all of that. And they know he's an AEW guy, and that's a drastic departure from Takeshita, who they saw as an interloper who was being overpushed, right? When he was the world champ, It didn't work. And I think it's because they brought Ospreay back, but as a secondary figure. He's in the never open weight 6-man title mix. He's clearly taking a back seat for now in the story to Callum Newman in the unit until they eventually have their match or whatever, right? So it's like the New Japan fans aren't threatened by the presence of Will Ospreay as this AEW interloper because he's doing mid-card stuff and he didn't come back as the leader of United Empire and he's not the world champion. They brought Takeshita in. They made him world champion. The fans are not comfortable with that because now if you notice with Takeshita, now that he's just doing these openers for the TV title, they're behind him again. They just don't want to see the AEW guys come in and dominate their fucking company, which is reasonable. They're wary of it.
Yeah.
They've lost so many of their guys. They don't want to see that company's people come in and work at the top.
Right, and they also never understood what to do with Takeshita's character. Like, during the G1, he was switching, like, night by night. Like, one night it was like, I am a New Japan, I love you guys. And then he was like, actually, I'm AEW, I'm a invader. And it's like, what are you? Are you an invader or are you New Japan? And that seemed to, the fans didn't quite seem to understand what they should, where they should stand with him, and then just decide. Yeah, and that's probably true too, which again, nice job, guys. So the fans just basically just said, you know what, the hell with this guy, and just kind of threw their hands up and didn't give a shit about him. They didn't boo him, they didn't cheer him, they just said, fucking guy's here, whatever, who cares, you know?
Yeah. So
I got to say, the most bold booking choice of the entire weekend, though, was booking Mystico in the third match from the top and making him win a title. Because this man with his Hootie and the Blowfish B-side dub music, that shit played and it stopped and it played again and it stopped and it played again. It was like,
yeah, the overdub. That's not Dragon Lee's. Nothing will ever match that.
No. Gene Saga, but the hat fitted. No. This is not Dragon Lee over here.
No.
Take you down, rule you like Montezuma or whatever the line was. There's one
the diarrhea line, the Montezuma's Revenge. Is the one.
It's not as good, but this one's so good.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
It just plays and plays, and then it's awesome because there's no, like, you know, New Japan's like, you know, technically is, you know, so it's like down, it stops and it goes because Mystico's not even close out of the ring at this point. I mean, he's still bowing,
pointing.
Right, it's
yeah, I don't know. It's like the title music. It's like the title screen music of an Atari 2600 cartridge.
Yeah, somebody had a good. It sounds like a PS1 golf game.
Yeah, that works too.
And it says, "Do you still want to play?" You're like, you know, thanks for
finish
playing.
Your round.
Like, finish your round? Question mark. Like,
yeah.
It's like you're at Pebble Beach, you know, with the fucking super pixelated Fred Couples, and you're just like, I don't know.
Super pixelated Fred Couples. Outstanding. All right, we got to do the first night. Unfortunately.
God.
Right to the business end as usual. I did not watch Knockout Brothers versus Masatora Yasuda and Tomo Akihama, but I'm sure it was another Knockout Brothers 5-star classic. But I did not watch it. Aaron Wolf, Don Foley. Total amateur hour. This was a fucking joke. I think it's embarrassing that New Japan is putting on matches like this. It's beneath them.
Mm-hmm.
It's doing
Aaron Is it though?
Wolf, what?
It should be beneath them. I don't think it is.
It should
though.
be beneath them.
Yeah.
It's doing Aaron Wolf no favors whatsoever.
Oh, he's not over at all, by the way, anymore.
Why would he be?
Exactly.
And listen, I'm going to say something. If you're pinning this on Wolf, you're dead wrong. I'll debate anyone to the death.
I still think he's pretty good. Like, he at the end of this match, he does a couple moves and yells, and the crowd's into it. And I'm like, I don't think this guy's as shit as everybody says he is. Like,
I don't even give a shit if he does suck. It's still not his fault if he's not over.
Right. You got to make the guy matter.
You put him with this bullshit House of Torture from the start, and he's in an extended feud with Don Foley.
Of all the people on the roster.
At his absolute laziest, which is saying something. What do you think is going to happen? When that's not so, for fuck's sake, man. He should never be the best worker in a match when he's wrestled 20 fucking matches. Put him in there with people who can elevate him. No, you have Satoshi Kojima sitting home with his dog Cookie, or Jushin Thunder Cookie, whatever it is. Or you got Yuji Nagata fucking doing God knows what, when those are the kind of people he should be working with. So they can make him look good. The point is to make him look good. What is this? He can't look good with the House of Torture and Don Fale with this lump of shit. He can't look good with this lump of shit.
Impossible. It's impossible.
So if he's not over, I don't want to hear nothing about his body, about his work, about his whatever level of career. No, I don't want to fucking hear it until they get him in there. And now it might be too late.
I think it might be.
The damage is probably done. And what did we say on January fucking 5th? That they were going to do this. And they even had an out. When Evil left, they had an out to get away from this shit and get him away from this shit. But they won't. And if you don't think this motherfucker is going to be in the G1 block with Don Fale, you're out of your fucking mind.
At the very least, Ren Narita. At the very least, if it's not Don Fale, which God help us if Don Fale is in the G1, he's going to be in there with Ren Narita and a couple of the other house
If he's
dudes.
even in the G1.
Right. They might not even put him in there yet.
I mean, this is malpractice.
Yeah, that's the other thing, too.
Can't look good.
This and people got mad at us that we said, oh, you know, he's still, it's his first match. I can't. Look, you signed this guy for the reason that you signed him, because he was a breakout star, a mainstream star, a whatever you want to call it, a legit sports star that was mainstream or whatever. You have to make it work. You have to. Wrestling has done this for decades and decades and decades. If the guy stinks, you got to find a way to hide those negatives and accentuate the positives. If he's pretty good, okay, great. Well, then figure out how to make him even better. Like, you have to make this work. Like, you just you cannot say, oh, well, he's fat and he can't work. Well, too bad. That's your fault. Like, you got to make the guy, he has to work. Like, it has to work, and you have to put effort into making him work. And we said it at the time. If he sucks and he's no good, then why the fuck is he in there with a guy who sucks and is no good? Yeah. If he sucks and he's no good, make him do every night he wrestles Yuji Nagata. You don't think if you wrestle Yuji Nagata 40 times in a row, you're going to get a little bit better at wrestling? I bet you fucking will. You face Satoshi Kojima every single night in an opener you're going to get a lot better. I promise you. You know who you're not going to get better against? Fucking Don Fale. Who you're not going to get better against is 8-man tags where you're teaming with fucking Toru Yano and all these other bullshit ass lame asses against House of Torture. Like, what they've done is just decided. I don't know. I don't know what they've decided. I can't even get my head around how they could possibly think this is the way. Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking washed. This guy is washed. Then I don't know.
He cannot improve wrestling Don Fale. It's impossible. He cannot improve wrestling these kinds of matches with the House of Torture. It's impossible. And he beats Don Fale. And maybe that is in the rear view, because now he says he's going for, because he helped Oleg Boltin. He tried to help Oleg Boltin or whatever in the Never match. Narita wins, and Wolf says he's coming for the Never title. So he's going to move on to Narita now. It's still the House of Torture.
That doesn't help. Yeah,
he's still not going to get any better. Yeah. He's still not going to improve. He'll probably win the dopey title back. But then, do you have any confidence then he's not just going to continue to feud with them? And one of the other guys, Narita or Fale or whoever the fuck, will come for the net. We knew he was going to be stuck with these guys for the whole year. And now you don't even have Evil, who was the only one of any fucking use whatsoever to work with. He's not going to get any better working with these people. You don't want him to get better? You want him to have these terrible matches that aren't over, and this match was not over.
No. His entrance was really, I went, oh, wow. The damage they've done between January 4th and May 3rd or 4th or whatever the show was is stark. Because his music played and these fans didn't give a fuck about Aaron Wolf. And I was like, they did
it. He wrestled with his T-shirt because there was supposed to be this big spot where he tears the shirt off late in the match, right? Where he gets fired up and takes the shirt off. And no one cared. He takes the shirt off and there's no pop. Because people didn't like this. because it's Don Fale, who's a lump of shit, and it sucked.
And it's not good, yeah. These people have
bad.
taste. These people have taste, so they don't like it.
And he tore that shirt off and was like, and no one fucking cared. I mean, at least try to get the guy over and try to help him improve. And then if he falls on his face, it is what it is, man. But they're not even trying. Or they think they're trying, but it sucks.
Yeah, if they think they're trying, they're very mistaken that this is working. Because you're right. He's gonna he's gonna beat Ren Narita for this title. He's probably gonna get involved with some other, and it's gonna be September. It'll be October and we'll be talking about this year's Wrestle Kingdom. It'll be like, what? They just fucking wasted a year of this guy.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. What are you?
When you could have been working with Yuji Nagata and Satoshi Kojima every night.
Or Stu Williams in the chat room brings up a great point. Why do you have these dopey 6-man belts if not to help a guy like this through his early matches? You can't have Bishamon team with him. You absolutely could. Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, and then he would have been in there with United Empire on the next night. He would have been in there with fucking Will Ospreay. It makes no fucking sense. And I endorsed his first match with Evil because I was like, all right, you can do some
I knew it was
going to
be like this. And people try to tell me it wasn't going to be like this. And I refuse to get gaslit about New Japan again and again and again and again for years and years and years and years.
Yeah, but they could have just moved away from it after
But they weren't going to, and we knew that.
I know they weren't going. Yeah, that's the thing. But it's like
people lie to themselves that they're going to get better and they're not going to book this House of Torture bullshit into perpetuity, but they're not going to change.
No, because when Evil left, that was their chance. And
that was the perfect opportunity to just wipe their hands of it. When Wolf could have fucking judo thrown all those guys into the abyss, and then Evil leave it. The perfect story that this man, after years of the House of Torture, running roughshod over this entire company, here comes this real athlete who embodies the king of sports, this New Japan pro wrestling. He was trained by Yuji Nagata and came up through the dojo or whatever, and he just judo throws these assholes out of here. He beats Evil, he takes his title, and those guys are gone. You never hear from him again. Perfect story. Fuck that. No, they can't do it.
Yeah, he could have been the one that vanquished them from the company, and that could have been like something that gets him over.
Nah.
Now we got to have a back and forth 50-50 feud with Don Fale. That's what we need to do. Who, by the way, was hidden in fucking mothballs in New Zealand for the last. You couldn't find that guy with a search party, but they felt like they had to bring him back and add him to the House of Torture specifically to feud with Aaron Wolf.
It's
specifically.
Yeah, it boggles the mind.
This company stinks. I mean, New Japan stinks.
It's a terrible.
It is just so unenjoyable to watch.
I grinded through these shows over the last 2 days, and I was like, "Fuck this!" I'm so glad I watched the Champion Carnival last out of all this.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, fuck, man, this show is going to suck. Like, I don't want to talk about these matches or whatever. Right. And that's why I wanted to do this last, because I watched the Carnival and I was like, hell, this is fun wrestling. And Kengo Mishima versus Kento Miyahara, what a story that was. And
creative booking.
Yeah.
Something to sink your teeth into. No black shirt, heel gang running into every match. Because then we get Narita, Bolton selling the shoulder, but then here it comes. Ref bumps, whiskey spitting, show.
God damn it. Oh, God damn it.
Show with the wrench. Listen, I know I'm hard on, I know I'm hard on WWE fans, but who are the fucking people who still get off on this routine? Who are these New Japan fans that are still genuinely enjoying this routine?
Right, throwing down their program. Headshot. House of Torture comes out and they throw down their program. God damn it. Oh, boo. Who are you? You haven't seen this 15,000 times?
Show.
Back-to-back matches on this show. Actually, was it 3 in a row? No, it was 2 in a row. Just 2 in a row. There was an Unbound Co-United Empire match between because you had Konosuke Takeshita and Shota versus the House of Torture, and then you had the Unbound Co versus United Empire. So at least you had a little bit of a break. Then you had Aaron Wolf versus Don Fale filled with all his bullshit. Then you had Ren Narita versus Oleg Boltin filled with all his bullshit. And I'm just like, enough.
Yeah. And by the time he gets to the world title match where they're doing it, it's like, oh, we're doing it in this match too? Great. With United Empire, awesome. I mean, it's overload. It's overload. This company fucking stinks. I mean, I had a little bit of hope at the turn of the year, and then they put the title on Newman, and it's like, but it fucking stinks.
No, it's bad right now.
They let you down every time. They just consistently, you can't trust them when they do something good or have a nice show because they fucking stink. At their core, This New Japan fucking stinks. That's all there is to it. We can sit here and hope it's going to turn around.
It's been years now we've had the same discussion.
It's been since the fucking pandemic. It's 2026. It's 6 years on now. This company has been fucking terrible for 6 years. With fleeting moments where you're like, oh, they're going to get the magic back. They're not getting the magic back. You know why? Because New Japan fucking stinks. It's over. They were great for 10 years, and you're hoping it can get it's not ever getting rebottled. They're addicted to this fucking horse shit. It stinks. Chase Owens and Yujiro are a regular fucking tag team in this company.
No, they should have higher standards than that, and they don't. They don't. Sonata's back. We didn't talk about that on night 2. Sonata's back.
Great.
Sleepy Sonata could find no takers, so he's back. Great.
Yeah, he could. Yeah. Fucking Naito wouldn't even take him back, and here we are, stuck with this fucking goof.
Takes his mask off, and I'm like, oh god,
great. That'll put asses in the seats.
Fucking sleepy ass Sonata.
Fucking Sonata. Yeah, that's what I need to see.
Yeah, God.
How about thinking outside the box? How about when Go Shiozaki becomes a free agent, you do something new and fresh, and you bring a guy like that in? No. We got to bring Sonata back. That's what the people are clamoring for. Sonata.
Who we've done everything with. We've done everything we possibly can.
A guy who peaked in 2017, which is almost 10 years ago. That's who we're going to bring back. Not something new and fresh. We can't possibly do that. We can't bring in Go Shiozaki because of whatever weird Japanese politics are going on there. I don't even know. How fresh would that have felt? I mean, he's never been there before. It's crazy. It's right back to fucking Sonata, which is exactly what this company needs. Sonata.
After these two, like watching these matches these shows for 6.5 hours, and it's like fucking Sonata and the House of Torture. I'm like, this company, man, I'm done.
Well, you better be ready to clap and get into some Jeff Cobb too, because he's coming back too.
Oh yeah,
you're ready for that one. I wouldn't be surprised if Tangaloa comes back. Fuck it. We all need more ape. We need some more ape shit in our lives, right? Bring Tangaloa back. We'll figure him in. Just stick him in the House of Torture. Whatever. Why not? Let's just stick him in the House of Torture. We'll shoehorn Jeff Cobb back into United Empire too. Why not? Let's go back down that road. He was nice to everybody. That's all that matters. Not that he wore out his welcome the first time and there was nothing left to do with him, and he's fucking 50 years old. Fuck it, bring him back. Brought Sonata back.
Yeah, if you bring Sonata back, your standards are clearly because you got this. You got the Sonata. You didn't have to. You broke away. You know what I mean? You got it. You refreshed.
You unclogged the drain of all these guys.
Now you're shoving it all back in. What are you doing?
It's like when you finally pull all the hair out of the shower drain. You're like, why didn't I do this yesterday? Like you unclogged the drain. Let him go. You don't have to do this. We thought we were turning this thing over. Nah, not a fucking chance. Not a fucking chance.
So we had Tsuji and Andrade, a main event in night 1. I thought it was just way too long. Like
I was disappointed by it.
Yeah, I did not like it that much. It felt like they did a bunch of like really cool things, but there was no cohesion in this match whatsoever. It was just like for 32 minutes, 15 of it was nothing, and then they just did big moves to each other and kicked out. And I was just like, I don't know, I'm not feeling this at all, really.
I wasn't feeling it at all either. I thought it was a disappointing match. It wasn't a bad match. It was just disappointing.
No.
The work was fine. I like the spot at the end where he hit his head on the post to set up the finish. But it's like, it definitely was. Now, look, you're not exactly in a great mood coming off the previous matches on this show coming into it. And that's a hard barrier to overcome. There's no doubt that affects your mood when you watch all this House of Torture stuff. And then you got to like gear up and try to enjoy a match. It's hard. It's not easy. I mean, these New Japan shows are not easy to watch. That's the other thing. They're not easy to watch. Just talking about how easy the All Japan show was to watch, and it was like fun. It's strange when you have fun watching wrestling these days. Like, they're all the shows are supposed to be fun. New Japan shows are never fun. You're like, oh my God, how many more 6-man tags are there? You're staring at your fucking phone. And then you get to the business end of the card and it's House of Torture shit that we've been watching for years and years on end. These shows aren't fun, man. They're just not fun. That's the bottom line. This company stinks.
Yeah, I find it very funny that Yota Tsuji, now who knows, Tsuji will probably win the G1 or whatever, but we crowned this guy at Wrestle Kingdom, and now it's May, and he's got nothing.
Yeah, maybe we're clearing the deck to get him back in the. But the thing is, Newman has to have a program with Ospreay at some point.
Yeah,
I don't know. Look, that kind of has my attention. What they're going to do with all that, but
no, the Ospreay Newman stuff is good. It's just, again, if that was the only thing on the show that had like copious interference or whatever, because you're telling the story. Will doesn't really want to do this, and United Empire, this is how they run now because Calvin Newman's their guy or whatever. It's a simple story to tell, but they're telling it in a really, like you said, a really boring way because Calvin Newman is winning by the skin of his teeth. He's barely beating guys. He needs all this interference, and it's like, why is Will scared of this guy? Like, Will should just fucking hit him with the fucking hidden blade and say, this guy's a fucking geek, man. But he doesn't have to be a geek. He could beat Shingo in 18 minutes and go like, hey, this is the guy that gave you a lot of trouble for years, right? I just beat him in 18 minutes. He's not hard. You know what? Here, I'm going to hold him up. Hit him for me. There's ways to do this that have a little bit more juice, but they're addicted to 30-minute kick-out fests, main events, and they're addicted to the House of Torture, and they're addicted to shitty wrestlers like Sonata and Don Fale, and Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi and Ryusuke Taguchi. There's a lot of bad guys on the roster too. That's the other thing. You go through the roster and you're like, this roster isn't very good. Like it's that's the thing with these.
Not a good roster.
Like here's every wrestler. I want you to on first glance tell me if this guy is good or not. Okay.
Oh God, this is the game we're playing.
Yes. Master Wato.
Is this good or not good? Master Wato. Never want to see him wrestle again. Next.
Toru Yano.
No, come on. Next.
Yo.
Oh, one of the most off-putting.
Should we just stop? We're good. I think we've done our point.
Annoying wrestlers in the business today.
Ryusuke Taguchi.
Retire. Again, please retire. Go away. Get the fuck off my TV.
Right. So
these aren't even wrestlers who aren't interesting. These are all wrestlers who I never want to see wrestle ever again.
Go away heat with all four of these guys. Yes. Yeah. Taisei Nakahara, the young lion. I got no beef with
the young
him.
Lions out of this. I'm not. Yeah.
Tiger Mask. I like him, but he's retiring, so who cares?
Yeah.
So now you don't even like Oscar and Yuto Ice, so that's not going to help anything at all.
Nope.
Young Lion Yasuda.
I'm not. Leave Young Lions out of it.
Yeah.
I have no beef with that.
Tomoyaki Hanma, who's like at that, like he's like a top 10% guy on the roster these days.
This is a terrible roster.
It's not good.
It's
all right.
A brutally bad roster.
El Desperado.
I like him. He's fine.
Mystico.
Well, he's not even on the roster.
Yeah, so yeah.
But he's a champion. But yes, obviously I enjoy watching Mystico wrestle.
Taichi.
Yeah, he's fine.
But here's the thing with Taichi. I've seen like 400 Taichi matches. I'm good.
I have, but compared to some of the people you just named, I'm putting them in the Hall of Fame.
True. Yuya Uemura, who they just refuse to do anything with. And,
I like him. Yeah, I like him.
Hartley Jackson.
I had no use for him.
Kosei Fujita.
Listen, people like him more than I do. I'm still not completely in on him, but I'll accept that I might be an outlier. How's that?
Yeah, that's fair. Robbie Eagles.
I love Robbie Eagles. I think he's a great wrestler.
And Rohei Oiwa.
I like him, yeah.
Okay, so things have taken a nice turn here.
Yeah, 50-50 now.
All right, Great Okan.
I still like Great Okan.
Okay, I think he stinks.
He's just he's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Hanare.
Yeah, he's fine.
I'm not counting Will Ospreay because again, he's
not on the roster.
Like Will Ospreay and Mystico probably shouldn't count for this.
They shouldn't count. No.
Hiroki Goto.
Yeah, I like Hiroki Goto.
Matsumoto is again young lion. Yoshihashi.
No, fuck him.
I'm kind of good with Yoshihashi too.
I mean, he's fine, but
I've seen 800 Yoshihashi matches. I think I'd like to watch somebody else wrestle.
Here's the problem: he shouldn't be pushed at this stage of his career, but they have to push him.
Right, that's the problem.
Else. Yeah.
Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah. Again, does he even count? I guess it counts.
He's there a lot, but yeah. Shota Umino.
No,
if he disappeared tomorrow, I'd never think about him ever again.
I might not even notice if I'm being honest.
Right. Chase Owens, I'll just move on. Yujiro Takahashi, I'll just move on.
Yeah, come on.
Drilla Maloney.
I like Drilla Maloney.
Robbie X.
I like Robbie X.
Shingo Takagi.
Of course.
Taiji Ishimori.
Yeah, go away.
Yeah, I'm good there. Calum Newman. I like Calum Newman. I do you do too. Francesco Akira.
Give or take, but he's fine, I guess.
Jake Lee.
Yeah, come on, hit the bricks.
Jacob
No,
Austin.
no, actually don't, because he'll go back to All Japan.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something,
stay here.
nobody-
Yeah, stay here. Jacob Austin Young.
Yeah, come on, no use.
Zane J.
Yeah, please. I mean, well, actually, he's got. Listen,
I like Zane.
I'm not
I like
gonna-
Zane J. I like Zane J.
Look, Jacob Austin Young is the most replacement level wrestler that's ever been a replacement wrestler.
If you want to know what a replacement level wrestler is, it's Jacob Austin Young.
I'd rather watch Jacob Austin Young and Zane J than like the first 8 guys you named at the top of that card, like the Master Watos,
Toriano Yo and Ryusuke Taguchi, and
those guys can just get fucked and just get the fuck out of here. So yeah, I'd rather watch the replacement level guy and Zane J, who has a little bit of upside. We'll see what happens, but they'll probably just have him join House of Torture at some point. And that'll be the end of his career too. Because yeah,
Aaron Wolf.
Whatever.
I want to, but I think I'm already out. Don
so
Fale,
hard.
of course. Yeah, Ren Narita.
Awful.
Oleg Boltin.
I like Oleg Boltin.
Andrade.
He don't count.
And Yota Tsuji.
Yeah, and Suji's fine. I mean, it's not a great roster.
It's really not. Yeah, it's low key kind of a shitty roster.
You want to throw Zack Sabre Jr. in there, sure, because he didn't work this tour or these shows, and it's not a great roster. It's kind of a shitty roster, and it's crazy because they often
the back half is awful. Like that's the thing. The back half of the roster.
Half of the roster is so bad.
Because in those glory days, like that undercard would be Hanma or whatever, and Hanma would go out there and have a fucking cool match, or Yuji Nagata and Hanma and those guys were like your back half of your roster. Now your back half of your roster is fucking Toru Yano, Yo, Master Wato. Like get the fuck out of here.
It's not a good roster. And it's not top heavy either, though. That's the thing. Like it has some decent guys that you don't mind watching at the top, but you don't have like. They used to have like 8 or 9 guys that were like, oh, these are 8 of the 15 best wrestlers in the world. They're all in New Japan. That is not the case anymore.
No,
it hasn't been for a long time. Let alone the fact that they have no star power to carry it either. So it's not a good roster. And I think that's what hurts things too. Now, with all the other it's just not fun to watch.
No, it's an exhausting watch.
Best of the Super Juniors is coming up, and I'm like dreading it. Like I'm like, am I even gonna watch this? I don't want to. It sounds like work. Watch it. You know what I mean? Like it sounds.
Oh,
like
I do. I do.
It's not fun. There's nothing fun. I know what all those Super Junior shows are gonna look like. They're all gonna look exactly the fucking same. It's like every year it's that way. It's hard to articulate, but every show is going to be identical. Every guy is going to work the same match he works every night. Like, that's because that's just the way they do things. And they did mix up the field a little bit this year. But am I running to my fucking New Japan world to watch Daisuke Sasaki from fucking DDT? I don't want to watch him.
And you don't care about Jun Kasai either.
Jun Kasai? What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I don't watch DDT because I don't want to watch Daisuke Sasaki. Why do I want to watch him in New Japan? I appreciate the effort. I mean,
you're not good. You're not watching your Freedoms tapes, so I think you're fine if you don't get to watch Jun Kasai either. But
he's not even doing death matches.
The only thing he's good at. Right?
I guess that's interesting to see him wrestle that style, but it's like,
I guess there's a reason he does deathmatch. It's probably not because he's a super worker, but anyway, yeah.
Clap, get into it. New Japan.
Yeah, that's New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, of course, Tsuji's going to be facing Newman at Dominion. So, will he win the title? Probably not. Or maybe he will.
Wait,
who knows? What? Who cares? Yeah, they had a match. Whatever show was after.
Oh, Tsuji versus Newman, you mean?
Yeah. Great.
Well, okay. I mean, maybe Tsuji will win it back, and the Newman will blame Ospreay or something.
Yeah. And
then Newman and Ospreay will have a program that doesn't involve the belt.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I think they're going to do.
I can totally see that.
Yeah. But what a whimper of a reign it'll be for Newman, but whatever.
Yeah, but it establishes him as a top
Sure.
guy.
Yeah, I get
it. They do that a lot with guys' first reign. I just, you want to have him cheat to win some of these matches for the story, but I really feel like he should just beat some guys too if you're really trying to establish them. But they love that Western heat. Mm-hmm. They love it. They love the Western heat.
Heat. All right.
Yeah, here's some breaking news before we.
Oh.
NWA is claiming. Well, I mean, I guess it could be. Well, I guess they can back it up. It says, "I'll read you the tweet. You want the? I'll read you the tweet." From
what's up from the at NWA, or is it from at Billy?
No, at NWA.
Okay, at NWA.
Thank you, fans. The numbers are in, and Nielsen reports 275,000 households tuned into the May 2nd episode of NWA Power on Comet TV. The episode marked the National Wrestling Alliance long-awaited return to broadcast television after 30 years. Okay, 275,000 households definitely didn't watch, because if you do like 1.8 viewers per household or whatever the current wrestling number is, that's a lot of fucking viewers. But the photo in the tweet does say 275 in the P2. So the tweet says households. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, I see. Okay.
But the graphic
the
in the
viewers
tweet
says viewers.
Says P2. Yeah, P2. 200. So it's 275,000 viewers, not 275,000 households. That would be very different. That would be, I don't know what the current viewers per household is for an average wrestling show. It used to be like 1.8 or something like that. So, they definitely didn't do, I'll just do it real fast. The 500,000 viewers on fucking Comet. That's what Nielsen's reporting for like bad Dynamites these days. So 275,000 viewers, though. They're claiming that Nielsen,
right.
I mean, that's bigger than slightly bigger than what Impact's doing, right?
I was going to say,
like
NWA has defeated TNA in the ratings, it sounds like.
It's what it says, 275 in the P2. I didn't know Comet was picked up by.
I had no idea either. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the ratings anymore. Every time they change and move, I'm just like, I have less and less care about the ratings. And so remember how I got a letter to become a Nielsen household?
Yes.
They don't do it the same way they used to. You don't get a notebook and write it down and all that sort of stuff. It's a little bit more digital and a little more spy-y these days. So I said, no, I'm good on being a Nielsen household. So they wanted you to install some app or whatever, and I was like, I don't think I'm doing that.
Right. Now you're asking me to do a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't need the $20 that badly.
Right.
So.
I am skeptical. I've never seen Comet reported by Nielsen.
Yeah, we just went over how weird Comet is on last week. We went over that.
I'm gonna need Thurston and Meltzer to
chime in on this.
Yeah, I am. I'm a little dubious of this.
Yeah, because it's a weird channel to be even logging, because it's all those like over-the-air antenna, like we talked about. I don't know.
Sub-channels.
Yeah,
Like,
2.2 or whatever the fuck. Yeah, it's like,
I'm extremely dubious of this claim.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they're doing the old ROH math when they were on the Sinclair channels, and they would cobble them all together and claim they had like 9 million views a week or whatever. Do you remember that?
Right. Well, surely we own 77 stations, and I know that enough people had to be watching ROH at 9 p.m.
This feels like ROH Sinclair math is what this feels like. It's even sketchy, like 275,000 households, but then it says 275,000 in the P2.
Yeah.
Persons 2+, it says, is like this. It's very sketchball. I think Brian Idol wrote this tweet, and
how do you know? Well, yeah, actually, you do know. Yeah.
Well, one of them. Maybe it was Simon Diamond. I don't know, but I'm highly dubious.
Yeah, I'd like to see some additional reporting on this.
Yeah. Reporting that I am not going to do.
No.
I am not going to investigate this. I am going to let Big Dave and Little Brandon handle it and see what they. I don't know why I just called him Little Brandon.
I was going to say, he's a normal sized man.
Normal sized man.
I guess he's not as built as Dave. I mean, Dave.
I do not want him to explode or suplex me. So
no, that could work. Yeah, he'd work your ass. Yeah.
He's going to punch me in the dick and then explode or suplex me like I'm Jay Freddy is what he's going to do. And I don't need that in my life. So, I can't be taking those kinds of bumps. So there you go. Little NWA at the end of the show.
Surprise NWA on Comet. So we are told that they are available to watch on demand. I don't really want to. A lot of people are like, if you guys really want to watch them, and I was like, I really don't. I mean, I appreciate.
Yeah, but then I got to watch it on my laptop.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's a turn off. And
right. I appreciate that I can watch it, but I really didn't want to. Our NWA relationship was very good when we could just check in once a month or so,
right.
and
but I could put on Fight TV powered by Triller and watch the fucking pay-per-view shows that were comped to us. Yes, it was very easy to follow and review the NWA.
Right.
But if I have to go to comet.streaming.net and look up an archive to watch, I come on. I got a lot of wrestling I have to watch, and that's not something I
and most of it will probably be better than NWA Power. So
hopefully, yes.
The current state of Power. If it was back in like the old days, I'd watch it. But
right when it was on YouTube and it was a half hour and it was on before AEW Dark, it was must-watch TV every week.
Yeah, and it rocked.
Plus, it was innovative and fresh, and it was a different take on pro wrestling. You know, that's an entirely different animal. Those days are long gone, man. I can't track this fucker down. If I had Comment on my TV, I might record the series on my fucking DVR and take a peek at it. But I don't know. I just can't. We could have streamed it on the CW app and we didn't bother. That was free too. I'm not doing that. Come on, man. I got a lot of shit to pay attention to.
They're also like old shows too. That's the problem too.
That bothers me too.
Yeah, I can't watch something from 2 months ago and pretend that.
I think they're a little more updated.
They're better now. Yeah, they were ridiculous there for a while. They've gotten pretty close to.
They were like 6-7 months behind, maybe even more at one point.
I think this week was and apparently this week was like filled with Ren Ayabe too, which sounds like a threat.
Yeah.
So it was like whenever because you were in Texas at that time when they were running
early April.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like early April.
A month behind.
That's not bad. They were like 8 months behind there for a while, so that's not bad.
Yeah, they were brutally behind. Yeah, it was awful.
I still don't want to watch it, but I think there was 3 matches of the Gates of Agony on.
Yeah, because they made them do a bunch of qualifying matches for the Crockett Cup, even though they were the All Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, what are they doing here, man?
Well, I think if you fly in Ren Ayabe and Talos, you want to get your money's worth, I think is the idea behind it. So, I don't know.
Yeah, well, whatever. Well, hopefully you guys got your money's worth here on the Flagship. So that is it for us. We'll be back not Saturday for Backlash Instant Reaction Live. Do not wait up for us on Saturday. We'll probably be
in the papers that we're doing Instant Reaction
right.
Live.
They do not. If you have plans on Saturday, go through them. If the wife asks you to go out to dinner, go out to dinner. Do not wait for us to do Instant Reaction Live for Backlash. We will cover it at some point very soon, though, I'm sure. But plenty of stuff up there on flagshippatreon.com. And that is it for us. That is Joe. I'm Rich.
Hey everybody, my name is Jesse Collins, and I am the host of the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, a show right here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. On the Gentleman's Wrestling Podcast, we take a deep look at individual issues and stories that are going on in the wrestling world. Each episode is about a different topic, and we take a thorough and educated look at things ranging from current booking trends to breakdowns on individual performers and angles to investigations into different fan cultures across the industry. In addition, we keep a close eye on the wrestling media, and as a professional journalist, I bring a unique perspective to how current issues in wrestling are being covered and discussed through the wrestling media. We have a revolving series of guests from across wrestling punditry joining us on each episode, and we hope that you make the choice to give us a listen on wherever you get your podcast from.